August 27th, you're watching CTV Morning Live. Thank you so much for being with us. Coming up, Ainsley McPhail is live at Animal Services this morning. They have a lot of dogs there right now, and some are ready for adoption right away, so they have discounts on those. They also are going to give us some important reminders about the importance of neutering or spading your animal, as well as getting them licensed. We're going to have all that for you and more, but first, your headlines. Letter carriers at risk. What recent incident has Canada Post workers in Winnipeg asking for more security training? Cruise rescue, how a cross-border effort helped get 2 ship passengers the medical help they needed. And we're not sure if you've heard, but Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce broke some major relationship news yesterday, and with a lovely rock as well. All right, bringing in Terry now. It was not a bad evening. It was pretty hot yesterday, though. Went for a bike ride in that sun. It was a scorcher.
It was a toasty one yesterday, and right into the evening, those mild temperatures stuck around. Well, in fact, overnight, those temps stuck around. What's happening at the Ball Diamond this morning, or did somebody just forget to turn off the lights? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that's nice. It looks good. Anyway, 20 degrees right now. Winds out of the west. They're gusting to 32 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 69%. Someone's going to come in this morning. Who left the lights on? Anyway, let's talk about the precipitation. Early this morning, right around 3 a.m., thunderstorms cracked open here in Winnipeg. Now you can see some of that activity still rolling through southeastern Manitoba into parts of northwestern Ontario. A possibility that we'll see some of those showers lingering through the day today, but then also the clouds clearing eventually and increasing amounts of sunshine then. Increasing temperatures, it's going to be hot. Another one, and in fact all week long, these temperatures soaring. Expected to be a hot little blast of summer, but make the most of it, because on the other side of the long weekend, as we're like sending kids back to school and getting ready for fall, it's certainly going to start to feel like fall with a drop off in the temps. So if you love the heat, this is your week. If you don't, just wait. Cooler weather is certainly coming, and we're going to notice that for sure. It could also come with a little bit of precipitation. Wrapping up the weekend Monday and then continuing into the start of next week, you will see those temperatures falling, a little bit of light rain, and even today those possible showers, but that will still come with that blast of heat.
Thank you, Terry. The union representing postal workers in Winnipeg wants Canada Post to provide safety training. It follows an attack on a mail carrier over the weekend in Waverly Heights. And as CTV's Joseph Bernacki shows you, the union hopes self-defense training could help keep mail carriers safer on their routes.
On any given day, postal workers could face any number of dangers, be it dogs, slippery roads, and increasingly, people. Over the past 12 months or so, we've had 12 incidents of carriers being attacked in various states and places, every area of the city, with various circumstances, different levels of severity. Sean Tugby, the local president of the Postal Workers Union, says while confrontations on the job are rare, postal carriers want self-defense training. The union believes that could be a less invasive approach to a confrontation rather than carrying a weapon. I think it's a skill, that necessary skill that most people should have. We're looking for ways to defend ourselves in case we're in a precarious place. Michael Tavares owns Gracie Jiu-Jitsu and started teaching martial arts in 2012. Tavares says the skills learned in Jiu-Jitsu are very practical for self-defense and could be learned by anyone. You don't need to be a competitor or an athlete to do this. You just need to know a series of techniques that is going to be simple to do. Tavares says a couple weekends of training with regular follow-up learning every few years should help someone defend themselves while on the job. It's all part of an effort to boost an individual's self-confidence and their spatial awareness. Making the job more enjoyable, learning how to even prevent and see situations arising that they could avoid much more easy and clear. In a statement to CTV News, a spokesperson from Canada Post says their employees are equipped with tools and receive regular safety training on de-escalation and self-removal from dangerous situations. Local operational leaders and employees are also empowered to decide whether to temporarily stop deliveries if they do not feel safe in certain situations. Sean Tugby says more can be done to keep their letter carriers safe on the job. We should be able to work safely no matter what season it is. Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Family of a Norwegian hiker whose body was recovered Sunday in the far north says an autopsy shows the man drowned. A family spokesperson says police told the family Stefan Shettelvik's autopsy is complete and he drowned. The 29-year-old was on a cross-continental journey of the Canadian wilderness when he set out on foot from Fort Severn in Ontario to York Factory, Manitoba. Investigators have said Shettelvik may have tried to cross the swift-moving Hayes River and got swept away. His family is preparing to travel to Canada to bring his body home and meet some of the people who searched for him. A Manitoba mother is asking for help solving the homicide of her son 2 years ago. 25-year-old Lyndon McIver went missing after a night out with friends on August 26, 2023 on Lake Manitoba First Nation. His body was found in a wooded area in the community 5 days later. His death has been deemed a homicide and the investigation remains ongoing. Lyndon's mother tells CTV News it's been a long 2 years waiting for answers.
Some days I don't sleep at night. I don't know, I pray every day that somebody says something. Because today is 2 years and I still don't know what happened to him.
McIver is being remembered as a helpful man who loved life and especially loved his 2 young sons. Anyone with information on the investigation is asked to call RCMP. A new survey suggests strong support for 3 methods to improve nurse recruitment and retention in our province. The findings are detailed in a Léger survey commissioned by the College of Registered Nurses of Manitoba. 1,600 registered nurses or nurse practitioners were polled for the survey. Respondents were most in favor of addressing workplace conditions, followed by boosting support for new nurses and increasing the number of seats for nursing programs.
I think what we have to do as a regulator is understand how we support employers and those nurses and others in making sure that the training that they get really does help them, build that broad level of understanding they need to be an effective care provider.
The online survey took place between June 1st and 11th. No margin of error can be assigned with non-random samples. A meeting between Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc and U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is now being called constructive as trade talks continue.
This is very important to reset the stage, unlock the negotiations, and hopefully come to a good place between the two countries.
The meeting with Lutnick lasted 90 minutes, which was longer than scheduled, but it's still not known whether the countries are any closer to a deal. Ottawa continues to look for relief from U.S. tariffs on key Canadian sectors, including steel and aluminum. The meeting comes after Canada dropped some retaliatory tariffs on some U.S. products, including oranges, alcohol, motorcycles, and cosmetics. Canada's Air Force and the U.S. Coast Guard pulled off a double extraction from a cruise ship sailing off Vancouver Island.
Having the Royal Canadians with us out there made it operate way smoother than if we hadn't had them.
The ship was sailing south of Tofino on Sunday when it reported 2 separate medical emergencies, both requiring an urgent extraction. The U.S. Coast Guard first lifted a 99-year-old passenger from the deck. A Canadian helicopter then transported a 52-year-old woman who suffered a cardiac arrest. Both patients were flown to hospital in critical condition. The RAF and U.S. Coast Guard say cooperation was critical in pulling off the mission. Health officials in London, Ontario are redeclaring a Legionnaire's disease outbreak and say they've uncovered the source after 4 people died and more than 90 people were sent to hospital. Nearly 3 weeks ago, a local health unit declared the outbreak was over, but 25 new cases emerged, leading to more testing. Officials say the bacteria, which is a severe form of pneumonia, was found in multiple cooling towers at 9 separate locations, and a subtype of the bacteria linked to the outbreak was discovered in a cooling tower at a meat processing plant. Not sure if you've heard, but Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce broke some news yesterday.
It's sobering. Take a look at that thing. You could go blind if you look straight into it if the sun hits it in the right way.
The pop and NFL superstars announced their engagement with a social media post that says, "Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married." The post also included pictures of Kelce, Pop, and The Question, the happy couple celebrating, and an engagement ring likely worth some country's GDP. As of this morning, the post has more than 27 million likes. According to Kelce's father, his son actually proposed about 2 weeks ago in Missouri. No word yet on date and location of the big day. Here's a look at what's happening now on Kenaston and Sterling Line. There's some puddles out there with some overnight rain, so that might affect your drive coming in this morning. Overall, no issues to tell you about at this point. Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who is live at Animal Services this morning. It's quiet in there, it seems, even though it's full. Good morning.
Good morning, Rochelle. Yeah, there's actually a specific reason for that. When the people come in, they don't want the animals to experience extra stress. So what happens is there's lots of pictures for you to choose from. This is the best date you'll go on. It's called a doggy date. So you come here, you see which dog's available, you have a look at their bios and the different characteristics of each dog to see if it's going to be a better fit for you and your family. For instance, is it good with children? Is it good in a more rural area? So you come here, they get their exercise too. The pets are able to benefit from that. This time of year, you touched on this, Rochelle, they've got lots of animals here. There are lots, but this year specifically, there are extra. So we're going to be learning about the reason for that. We're going to be learning about the importance of spaying and neutering your pets and so much more. So stay with us. Come with us on a doggy date.
Oh, I can't wait to see the dogs. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. Yeah, waking up this morning, Terry, to some pretty serious rain.
Yeah, okay, interesting, because I'm looking at my rooftop this morning thinking it's very dry. I don't think those showers reached us here in Winnipeg. Okay. In my neighborhood, I did notice a few puddles. That was just a little further south of here. And certainly on the satellite image, it showed that the rain rolled over us, but I don't think it got me on the rooftop. And rain gauge, bone dry. Very mild out here this morning. These temperatures that we're waking up to are well above seasonal. We're sitting at 19 degrees right now. You compare that to a normal low of 10 or a seasonal daytime high of 23, and we're a lot closer to that number. But that number we're going to be soaring past as the day goes on. Southwest winds 19 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 75%. I can still see some darker clouds, a bit of a brighter sky above, but it's just still so dark out here with a lack of sunshine at this time. Sun will be rising at 6:36. From there, we will likely see some of it, especially more so later on into the afternoon. And this morning, we're waking up to some slightly heavier clouds. But as the day goes on, the clouds will be clearing out of the way. Sunshine and a whole lot of heat. We're going to be feeling that mercury on the rise today with above seasonal values, not just today, but the rest of the week. Getting up into those high 20s. We might even hit low 30s at times this week. Enjoy it, because it does feel like a cool down, or I'm pretty sure a cool down is coming for us on the other side of the weekend. Taking a break right now. We'll be back with more CTV Morning Live.
CTV Morning Live weather is brought to you by Destination Dinner Stage, Manitoba's only musical dinner theater.
It is 6:15. The family of a teenage boy who drowned at Cindy Clausen Recreation Complex is suing the city of Winnipeg and a number of lifeguards, claiming they each had a duty to protect the boy but failed to do so. 14-year-old Adam Soretta Paul drowned last April. His family is suing the city and 4 unnamed lifeguards, seeking more than $100,000 in damages from each. According to a statement of claim filed in the Manitoba Court of King's Bench, Soretta Paul was discovered at the bottom of the pool's dive tank by one of the lifeguards on duty. The suit alleges the city and its licensed lifeguards were negligent and breached their statutory duty by failing to adequately supervise and guard the teen, which caused his death. Additionally, the documents claim the city also failed to have an adequate number of lifeguards on duty that day. The city hasn't filed a statement of defense. In an email to CTV News, the city says it is aware of the statement of claim, but declined to comment further as the matter is before the courts. Prime Minister Mark Carney says the federal government will be spending $500 billion on energy, port, and intelligence infrastructure in the near future. And that spending, he says, will effectively help create a new port in Churchill.
Unlocks, as you just said, LNG. It unlocks, and I salute Premier Canu's initiative here, it unlocks major Indigenous leadership and participation. It potentially unlocks pathways for critical minerals and links into Europe.
Carney was speaking as he continues his tour of Europe. His comments were in response to a question about what Canada could realistically offer European countries in terms of energy, given the state of the development of ports and pipelines in Canada.
As the federal government and the Prime Minister are moving forward, thinking about how are we going to get our resources to markets, using that tidewater that we have in northern Manitoba, building up the infrastructure to sustain future generations, and doing that with respect for the environment, it's a real win-win opportunity for us to build up our country that we love so much.
On Tuesday, Canada and Germany signed a joint declaration to deepen cooperation on critical minerals. The federal government has vowed that the new office to approve major energy and infrastructure projects will be operational by Labor Day. Mark Carney was busy on the international stage Tuesday, committing to extending Canada's NATO mission in Latvia for 3 years and pursuing new economic and military cooperation with Europe. And as CTV's Abigail Beeman reports, it includes a big-ticket item.
Prime Minister Mark Carney tours a shipyard. The German-Norwegian consortium TKMS is pitching Canada to buy its submarines.
Our subs are quieter than Canadian Snowfall, but tougher than a player in the Stanley Cup final.
In Berlin, the government announced it's narrowed its search for up to 12 new submarines to 2 companies, this one and South Korea's Hanwha.
It's not about buying the big shiny object from the showroom floor. It's about how you are going to sustain that capability over what will probably end up being 30 to 40 years.
Canada's submarine fleet is so old it will be decommissioned by 2035. Senior government officials describe the situation as having some urgency.
We need to be able to have year-round fleets in all 3 coasts under quite demanding conditions. So that's how the field narrows quite quickly.
In addition to tricky technical requirements, the government wants a purchase as massive as this one to have an equal investment in Canada.
Really positive indication of with this announcement today, which is atypical for the way Canada's generally approached big procurements, and based on a project budget that could get into like $100 billion range, this could end up being the single most expensive and largest defense acquisition that we've ever undertaken.
TKMS's CEO said they were open to building in Canada, which would be a first.
The customer is always right? So if they want or demand for special, let's say, reasons to build them in Canada, we would also be able for that.
The Prime Minister will meet Canadian troops here in Latvia. He announced he will extend the NATO mission Canada leads here by another 3 years. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Riga.
Free tickets go on sale today for FanFest. The annual Winnipeg Jets tradition kicks off the 2025-26 hockey season. You can attend one of 2 on-ice training camp sessions. The day also features interactive games, inflatables, and a ball hockey rink. You can win memorabilia and get your gear signed at autograph sessions. FanFest takes place on Saturday, September 20th at the Hockey for All Center near Portage Avenue and the West Perimeter. Tickets are free and available today through the Winnipeg Jets website. The best baldies around turned out in Chicago Sunday. A man who looked like Mr. Clean won the first Bald Off competition. It was billed as a contest to declare the Baldest Baldy Award. A hairless cat even showed up. It seems like everyone had fun, so look for another Bald Off in years to come. Here's a look at what's happening outside at Confusion Corner. It looks like things are starting off really well over here. No issues to tell you about. If you see any problems out in traffic, though, please let us know.
All right, there's a few extra clouds that you can see hanging over us this morning as we take a look now through the Bath Fitter Live Eye. Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. If you build it, they will come. It's neat to see the ball diamond all lit up like that this morning. Okay, taking a look at the numbers, a well above seasonal start to the day. 10 degrees would be a normal low. Numbers are closer to that here in the southwestern part of the province, with Brandon coming bang on at seasonal values. But taking a look here through southeastern Manitoba, Winnipeg seems to be one of the hotter places at 19, but mid-teens all throughout this southeastern corner this morning. Up into northern Manitoba, we do have some single digits the further that you go up into the northeast. Northwestern Manitoba, balmy start for you. You've got mid-teens to kick off your morning, or 12 degrees over in Island Lake. Now, that bit of shower activity that rolled through overnight still lingering in this very southeastern part of the province. And even more than showers, you can see the few thunderstorms that are firing off in there. The possibility that we see a little more of that shower activity, but also the heat. We're going to be feeling that. I mean, I mentioned we're well above seasonal to kick off your day already. And by noontime, mid-20s, that would be a seasonal daytime high at 23 degrees, but we're soaring well beyond that and into the high 20s for later today, or for northern Manitoba, mid to high teens or even some low 20s. It will be a little bit cooler across the north, but here in the south, a hot one, not just today, the rest of this week could possibly even hit 30 degrees on Friday, and remaining hot all throughout this coming long weekend, but not sunny. I mean, it starts out on a sunny note through Sunday, but by Monday, the possibility that we begin to see some showers that could continue into the start of next week. That made for a cool shot, that beautiful rainbow glowing out at Black Sturgeon Lake. Thanks to Jill for the photo, and keep them coming, please, to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca. We're taking a break, but we'll be back with more CTV Morning Live.
Good morning. On Canada's east coast, a wildfire in Nova Scotia's Annapolis County has doubled in size, forcing more residents to flee. The Long Lake fire has left more than 1,000 people wondering if they will have anything to return to. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth on the agonizing wait.
2 days after being ordered to evacuate her home with the out-of-control Long Lake wildfire burning nearby, Luann Eisner's emotions are still raw.
I was grateful. I was grateful that we had an alert.
Around 500 homes or properties have been evacuated in this area. Rob Howie is waiting for any news from firefighters or county officials on the condition of his property in West Dalhousie.
Lots of my friends and neighbors have lost their homes. I don't know about mine for sure.
The wildfire, burning for 13 days, is now more than 80 square kilometers in size.
Even though it may not be described as extreme in terms of large flames and you know, the volumes of smoke we saw on Sunday, it's still burning very intensely and deep in the ground.
The smoke hovering over this area has prompted air quality alerts for 4 Nova Scotia counties, including some areas that are roughly 200 kilometers away from the wildfire.
Depends on what way the wind's blowing. It's pretty nice here today, but if you were here yesterday, it was looked like the fog was rolling in.
As people who live here wait for the wildfire to be extinguished, those fighting the flames are about to get some relief. A crew of 20 from Ontario will arrive on Wednesday to give Nova Scotia firefighters a much-needed break. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, West Dalhousie, Nova Scotia.
Do you love wine and a little VIP luxury? Then this is for you. We're giving away a Champagne Lounge VIP experience to the Winnipeg Wine Festival each week. That's for you and 3 friends at the RBC Convention Centre on September 26th and 27th. Enjoy exclusive wine tastings and support the Special Olympics while you're at it. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and enter the clue word, taste. Coming up, we're live at Animal Services this morning. You're looking at dogs that are ready for adoption. Stay with us for more details on how you could get them.
CTV Morning Live is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
Extra clouds hanging around outside this morning, but those temperatures well above seasonal. 19 degrees is where we're sitting right now with southwest winds, 19 clicks. The pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 75%. Looks like we can still see some showers way off in the distance there. Showers rolled over us in the overnight hours, and there you can see the activity still showing up on the satellite image. And while the bulk of it has passed off to the east, you can still see some little trails behind us yet, the possibility we could still get rolled over by a shower. So just keep that in mind for today. But we're also going to be feeling the heat. I mean, we're starting out well above seasonal, and the mercury will continue to rise to a hot high of 28 degrees. There will be a bit more of a breeze increasing through the day. It's out of the south this morning. That will shift a north wind at times, gusting to 40 kilometers per hour. But then it clears out in the overnight hours. There's still that possibility of showers into the evening time, but overnight clear conditions as we drop down to 12, and very light winds expected out of the east. Plenty of sunshine then for tomorrow. Another warm one, maybe not quite as hot as today, but when you compare it to what is normal for this time of year, a seasonal daytime high would be 23 degrees. There will be a bit of a breeze out of the south for tomorrow, and from there a little spike in those temps, and that's where we'll stay through the weekend. So Friday up to 30 degrees, hot through the long weekend, but by holiday Monday it does look like we could see some showers, and then showers continuing with the drop in the temperatures as we look ahead to next week.
Thanks, Terry. The Manitoba Progressive Conservatives have hung on to a seat in a by-election long considered a Tory stronghold. Voters in Spruce Woods headed to the polls Tuesday to elect a new member of the Legislative Assembly, and the votes have been counted. According to the unofficial results posted on Elections Manitoba's website, Tory Colleen Robbins clinched 2,805 votes, followed closely by NDP opponent Ray Berthollet, who had 2,735 votes. Manitoba Liberal candidate Stephen Reid trailed in a distant third with 444 votes. All advance and election day polls have reported. Elections Manitoba says adding officials' results will be released today. The seat has been empty since March when Grant Jackson resigned to run for the federal Conservatives. The result won't change the balance of power at the legislature. The NDP holds a comfortable 34 seats compared to the Tories' 20. A Manitoba man has survived a horrific camping disaster. A tree fell on Eric Leishid's tent at an Ontario campground. He says he woke up to his 11-year-old daughter screaming beside him and the tree on top of him. The 37-year-old Tyndall man is in hospital with a broken pelvis and ruptured bladder. And as CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, a quick-thinking camper jumped to his aid.
From his hospital bed, Eric Leishide recalls the freak accident at an Ontario campground.
All of a sudden, I felt a large thump, and that was the tree on top of me.
The 37-year-old from Tyndall, Manitoba, was camping at Blue Lake, Ontario last Thursday. His boys, 5 and 9, bunked with Grandma and Grandpa in a camper. Eric and his 11-year-old daughter pitched a tent.
Because there wasn't as much room in the campers.
Eric says it started raining hard during the night, and around 6:30 in the morning, the tree crashed on their tent with Dad and daughter inside.
I woke up to her screaming and the tree on top of me. And I started screaming, she started screaming.
A camper from another site cut through the tent with a knife and got his daughter out unharmed. But Eric, lying on his side, was pinned. Eric's father started piling wood under the tree to lift it up, and the camper sliced Eric's air mattress.
And I pushed myself from underneath the tree and knew immediately my hip was broken, or pelvis was broken.
He was airlifted to Health Sciences Centre. The pelvis broken in 3 places, along with a ruptured bladder. Even with the injuries, his wife Jennifer says they are feeling lucky, knowing the outcome could have been a lot worse.
God's heavenly protection was just, never been more palpable than that day.
While rare, tragedies like this do occur. In 2023, 60-year-old Melville McIntyre was killed in Manigatogan. And in 2013, a camper from Quebec died when a tree fell on his tent at Falcon Lake. As for the Leishides, the couple says their children are doing well despite the ordeal, but they are done with tenting.
My daughter doesn't want to go in a tent anymore.
That will be something that's off their bucket list of things to do.
We'll just go to the camper from now on.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Vancouver International Airport is dealing with delays and cancellations this morning. Travelers are being told they may see changes to their flights and to check the status of their flights before heading out. Airport officials say there was an unexpected staff shortage at Nav Canada, our country's air navigation service. Regional routes around BC are being hit particularly hard. YVR is bringing in more staff to help passengers as best as they can. Canada Post is reporting major financial losses as its parcels business drops due to labor uncertainty.
That was why I had to make the move and say we can't rely 100% on one source. I've got to run a business and I can't shut down for a month or month and a half at a time.
Canada Post reported a loss before tax of $407 million in its second quarter. Last year's strike and the threat of more disruption this spring have left many business owners looking for other options, choosing to go with other carriers to ship parcels. Canada Post is in a fresh round of contract talks with its postal workers after the employees rejected an offer by the company earlier this year. They say 3rd time's the charm, but for SpaceX, it took 10 tries.
There's a buoy. There's a splashdown.
The latest test of its mega rocket Starship completed the first ever deployment of a test payload, sending 8 dummy satellites into space. It comes after 9 other failed attempts, many of which were scrubbed and others ended in explosions. Starship is the most powerful launch vehicle ever built and is key to founder Elon Musk's vision of carrying humans to Mars, as well as NASA's plans to return astronauts to the moon. And here's a look now what's going on in traffic along the St. James Bridge. Things are moving well here, no issues to tell you about at this point. And here's a look at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.38. The provincial average is slightly lower, or higher rather, at $1.40. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.44. The lowest price in the city is $1.34. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
Price at the pump brought to you by KidneyCard.ca. Get a free tow and a tax receipt for value of your car.
Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at Animal Services this morning. You're standing in front of a board, all of pictures of dogs that are up for adoptions because the shelter is really full right now, Ainsley.
Yeah, Rochelle, it's been at capacity for several months now. You mentioned the pictures of the dogs, but we've got, now Ren's being shy. She was like standing up earlier, eating some treats. Zoe Austin joins us now to tell us all about Ren first, but also it being at capacity and the sheer volume here at the shelter.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here today. So we have been at capacity for multiple months now. Most oftentimes we see a spike beginning in spring. This year started a bit earlier, so our staff have been working with a great number of dogs. Hi, sweetheart. We've been working with upwards of 40 dogs, sometimes approaching 50 dogs for months now. So we are struggling. Yeah.
And what does that mean for both you guys and the public?
Right. So what we ask the public to do is make sure that their dogs are licensed, right? Our officers would love to return people's dogs immediately upon pickup in the field, but it's tough to do that when dogs often don't have any ID. Ren here, who we have with us, has a tattoo, but her tattoo doesn't trace to anybody. So had Ren been wearing a license when she came into us, she would have just immediately gone home. But unfortunately, our girl here has been with us for a month already. So she's looking for the right family right now. Yeah.
And lots of dogs, obviously at capacity, we're seeing the faces of them here. We can't bring them all out, unfortunately. But what does it mean too when people come here and they're able to kind of make their selection or even take one out?
Yeah, so our board here is the first connection between the public and the dogs in our care. Our kennels used to be open to the public, but we just found that it was so stressful for the dogs. If you can imagine your own dog having the public walking through their home all day, every day, maybe my dog might be okay, but most dogs not, right? So we shut the kennels to the public for the well-being of the dogs, because we want, when someone comes in from the public to meet a dog, we want them to meet the best version of that dog. And the best version of that dog is a relaxed, happy dog. So right now we have our board, which we just launched. We have a leveling system for our dogs. So each dog is leveled based on their kind of skills they have on board, their sociability, and how they might fit in a home. So you can see lots of green dogs here. We have many very, very good dogs in our care. So green dogs are your entry-level dog, the dog who's going to do great in any family, somebody who has a relaxed lifestyle. Ren here is a level 1 dog. She could hang out on the couch with you all day. She could go for a walk or a run with you. She's happy to do whatever that you want to do. So
Zoe, thank you so much. Sorry, we're out of time. Okay, you will see more dogs though, so stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. We're going to get another hot day today, Terry.
Yeah, we sure are. So if you've got a pooch at home, get that stroll in early today before those temperatures really start to skyrocket, because already we are well above seasonal, kicking off your morning at 19 degrees. And the sun is up now, so it won't be long before we're starting to feel the heat. Although we do still have some heavier clouds just kind of passing over us from the showers that fell on us earlier this morning. The winds out of the southwest, 19 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 75%. It will be a hot one today, very similar to yesterday. The possibility, though, that we could still see some scattered showers. There were some in the overnight hours, maybe still into the afternoon, chance of not just showers, maybe even some thunderstorms. And no surprise with where these temperatures are headed today, into the high 20s all across southern Manitoba. That'll put us well above seasonal. Now, northern Manitoba not quite as hot, more so in those low 20s, but still maybe slightly above seasonal for you. For us, it just continues to stay hot throughout this week, but the cool down will come on the other side of the long weekend. Taking a break right now. We'll be back with more CTV Morning Live.
Weather brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful at 900 Lorimer Boulevard, featuring Hunter Douglas shades.
At the early markets, futures are pointing to a strong open on Wall Street. Dow futures are up 135 points. NASDAQ futures are up 2 by 94. S&P futures are also up by 26 points. The Canadian dollar is seeing a small dip this morning. Overseas, the Hang Seng is down 323 points, while Japan's Nikkei is up 125. Good morning. It is 6:45. Mounties are searching for two suspects who they say impersonated RCMP officers in an attempt to break into someone's home. It happened the evening of August 8th on Royal Road in Portage-la-Prairie. Investigators say the pair first told the residents they were officers and to open the door. When that didn't work, they tried to force their way in before giving up and driving off in a white sedan. RCMP have now issued an arrest warrant for 27-year-old Christian Meaches of Long Plain First Nation. They're also trying to identify the man on the right of your screen who was wearing a white hoodie at the time. Anyone with information is asked to call Portage RCMP or Crime Stoppers. A man who was wrongfully charged following a child sex trafficking investigation last year is taking RCMP to court. In court documents, Scott Taylor says he suffered verbal and physical assaults after being named as a suspect in the disturbing case. And he says it should have been fairly easy for investigators to realize he was not the person they were looking for.
I had to hide. I had to go in hiding. Literally had to go in hiding, and my house was vandalized. I had so many death threats, like endless amount of threats. I'm scared.
Taylor spoke with us last summer sporting a black eye he recently received after he was charged with obtaining sexual services for consideration from a person under 18. His house, which he has since left out of fear for his safety, was also spray painted with the words certified pedo. About 2 weeks later, the charges were stayed, and RCMP issued a corrected statement to media and the public. In his statement of claim, Taylor alleges a complainant told police one of the suspects had his name but also had a beard, worked for Canadian National Railway, and had lived with the complainant's mother. Taylor says none of that evidence applies to him, aside from the name, which he says is fairly common, and investigators should have figured that out before arresting him and making the charges public. The Attorney General of Canada is also named as a defendant, as Taylor's suit says the Crown prosecutor should have stayed the charges sooner. He's seeking unspecified damages for mental suffering, loss of income, legal fees, and general damages. When asked for comment on the suit, the Attorney General deferred questions to the RCMP, who told CTV News they could not comment as the matter is before the court. On Tuesday, massive nationwide protests took place across Israel with families of the hostages calling for the release of their loved ones and an end to the war in Gaza. This as international pressure continues to mount on both sides to reach a ceasefire deal as the humanitarian crisis in the enclave worsens. CTV's Heather Wright reports.
On a highway outside of Tel Aviv, protesters burned tires, blocked traffic, and demanded an end to the war in Gaza.
Accept the deal that's on the table to end the bloodshed that's going on.
These protests are the largest anti-war demonstrations to take place in Israel since the Hamas-led attacks of October 7th, which triggered the war in Gaza. They come as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu faces mounting pressure, both at home and abroad, over the deteriorating situation in the enclave. On Monday, Israel struck one of the only functioning hospitals in southern Gaza, then hit the facility a second time as journalists and rescue workers rushed to the scene. At least 20 people were killed, including 5 journalists. Israel says the strike was targeting a Hamas camera and will investigate what happened.
And I've worked in that hospital.
Nicole Lessard spent May, June, and July working in Gaza as a nurse with Médecins Sans Frontières. She says the suffering is constant. There's not enough food or medicine, and since Israel handed over aid distribution to the U.S.-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, getting aid can be deadly.
When the sites made an announcement they were going to open for food distribution, we would shortly receive mass casualties to the hospital. They keep the doors closed and then open them. People rush in. The food is dropped in the center, and it's basically like a fight to the death.
As Israel pushes ahead with its military offensive in Gaza City, there are not only fears in Gaza but in Israel as well, with approximately 20 living hostages still being held in the enclave.
The Prime Minister has really gone rogue now. He's going against his chief of staff. He's going against the hostage families. He's going entirely against the international community.
The United Nations demanded that Israel's investigation into the hospital strike comes with accountability, noting that more than 270 journalists have been killed in Gaza since the war began. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
These oxen were working hard in southern Germany, but it wasn't the kind of work they're used to. The 10th edition of their ox races were a smashing success. Like the Olympics, they're held every 4 years, and like horse racing, the audience can place bets on their favorite ox. Oxen aren't fast, and they're not even known for wanting to run, so this really is a unique event. Here's a look now what's going on McPhillips Street. Things are moving well here, no issues to tell you about at this point. If you see any problems out in traffic, please let us know.
All right. Oh, I thought we were going to go back to the ball diamond and see if the lights were still on. Anyway, we can see this light shining through the clouds this morning. The sun is up. We've got these heavier clouds for now. There was a little bit of shower activity earlier this morning. We're not seeing the showers at this time. Oh, are we going to cruise over the ball diamond? Yeah, why not? Let's take a look and see if the lights are still on. Not that we would see them as well because the sun is up now, but still. Oh, they turned them off. Somebody must have shown up to work this morning. They're like, ooh, they were on all night. I wonder if they caught us over at CTV. Yes, we caught you. All right, 19 degrees, southwest winds 19 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 75%. Imagine the person that came in and was like, oh, I wonder if anybody saw that. Do you think I'm going to get busted? It was on the news. All right, here's a look at the satellite image right now. All through the southeast, you can see the scattered showers and a few thunderstorms that are firing off in that area as well. Up in the northeast, you too might see a little bit of shower activity. Temperature-wise, though, not bad. I mean, we're still in that very seasonal zone for northern Manitoba. Here in the south, we're well above. But these values across the north are pretty much what you would expect for this time of year. A little bit sunnier and brighter in, say, Churchill and Gillam areas. But other places in that northeastern stretch might see some scattered showers passing through. Or a whole lot of sunshine along this western border and mid-20 temperatures that will put you above seasonal. And high 20s here in the south when 23 is normal for this time of year. Hot temperatures, though, in the areas, that possibility of showers or thunderstorms developing again later on today. There was a bit of activity overnight, but again, that chance that into the afternoon we see some activity developing again. Northwestern Ontario right there with us. Possible showers, maybe some thunderstorms. You're certainly going to see it this morning as we've been watching on the satellite image. Hot throughout this week when 23 degrees is normal for this time of year. Heat will last throughout the long weekend, but soggy conditions by the time we're wrapping up the weekend with a drop off in those temperatures once we look ahead to next week.
Thank you, Terry. Marine rescuers from Canada and the United States teamed up to conduct a pair of helicopter airlifts from a cruise ship off the west coast of Vancouver Island. The search and rescue teams worked together to evacuate 2 passengers suffering medical emergencies. CTV's Ben Nesbitt has the story.
It looks like the big green area aft of the bridge.
A dramatic scene at sea Sunday morning when 2 passengers experienced separate medical emergencies. The priority was clear: get them off the ship and to emergency care.
Everything was very quick and very smooth.
The Princess cruise ship was sailing about 85 kilometers south of Tofino when crews from the Royal Canadian Air Force and the U.S. Coast Guard answered the call.
Having the Royal Canadians with us out there made it operate way smoother than if we hadn't had them, and it always gives us a great feeling getting a patient to a higher level of care.
This footage, captured from a Canadian aircraft, shows a U.S. Coast Guard helicopter approaching the vessel. Canadian crews were able to zero in on the cruise ship's location, streamlining the operation.
They actually went out and found the exact location of the cruise ship prior to us taking off, so we didn't have to spend a lot of time looking for them.
The first patient, a 99-year-old man with a blocked esophagus, was hoisted from the deck.
We were tasked to provide the second aircraft to extract a second person.
The second patient was a 52-year-old woman on life support after a heart attack. She was flown to hospital on a Canadian helicopter from CFB Comox.
This helicopter goes about 270 kilometers an hour, so that's what we did on the way back.
And just next to, looks like there's a pool in the front, so just aft of that pool.
With several aircraft working in close proximity, coordination was crucial.
Being able to work with the Canadian Air Force, Canadian Coast Guard can actually help us get Canadian citizens help faster.
2 countries, 1 mission, teamwork in the air that brought help when it was needed most. Ben Nesbitt, CTV News.
Canada's decision to lift retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods starting September 1st is bringing relief to some shoppers and retailers. As CTV's Dave Charbonneau reports, business owners in the country's capital have been feeling the impact.
Find everything you were looking for?
At Cedars & Co. Food Market on Bank Street, they've had to shift away from offering American produce and goods.
We have had to transition because of the tariffs.
Back in March, the Carney government imposed counter tariffs on a long list of American goods, including coffee and tea, orange juice, tires, shoes, and electronics.
When the tariffs came in, we saw a huge rise on dry goods as well as product lines in the produce area. So from anything that came in from the United States, oranges went up significantly up in price. So we transitioned. South Africa, Argentina, Ecuador, Portugal, Morocco.
I like to know where my products come from.
With Canada set to lift tariffs September 1st, businesses and shoppers are counting on lower prices.
I would say 90% of our clients have boycotted U.S. goods, and they are relying solely on Canadian goods.
They support local businesses, Canadian businesses, and try to avoid unnecessary tariffs where they apply.
I want to support the local producers. The people who are doing all the work, I want to support them on the Canadian side.
At Capital Furniture and Mattress, owner Nadia Gadban says tariffs have hurt sales.
They've slowed down business for sure.
But come September 1st, Gadban plans to cut prices.
We are going to drop our prices back down by 15% so that we're back to the norm that we were because customers have noticed the sudden increase. So this is our Canadian brand.
But when it comes to mattresses, customers here also buying Canadian.
Our business has gone up 25% since the tariffs were implemented because people have stopped buying the American brand.
The price of coffee beans went up considerably the minute the tariffs hit.
Back at Cedars & Co., Dibbs says she might consider U.S. goods again, but only as a last resort.
So if the produce significantly comes down in price and we need to adjust and we cannot find it in other countries, diverse countries, we will definitely have to fall back on the U.S.
Dave Charbonneau, CTV News.
We're going to take a break here. We'll be back after this. On Wednesday, August 27th. You're watching CTV Morning Live. Thank you so much for joining us. A little later in our show, in the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to tell you about a unique partnership between Brandon University and a PhD student from Taiwan and how it's all to improve science education in our province. We're going to tell you a little bit more about that, but first your headlines. Dealing with danger, what prompted a call for safety training for Winnipeg's postal workers. Plus, waiting for answers, what the mother of a homicide victim is asking of the public. And a long-term approach, how you can start improving your health right now. Bringing in Terry now. Sometimes just going outside is a good way to improve your health. And
absolutely.
It's going to be a good one for that.
It's going to be a hot one for that. If you don't like the heat, get out early so that you can at least get that little bit of fresh air. And I was going to say sunshine, but it looks like we just got some heavier clouds hanging over us for now. 19 degrees, southwest winds, 19 clicks. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 75%. There will likely be some sunshine later on today. Right now we're waking up to the clouds that were all part of this system, brought a little bit of rain in the overnight hours, and we still could see some possible scattered showers through the morning. Maybe again then later on into the afternoon. We'll talk about that in a second. More than showers, you can even see some thunderstorms that are firing off in there, and all of this moving further east into parts of northwestern Ontario, where you can see you've got the heavier clouds, and right up into northern Manitoba as well. And some of that shower activity will be noticed, especially into the northeast. Northwestern Manitoba and right down along this western border, things will be clearing out nicely. For us here too, in the southeastern part of the province, well, really across the province. But with the kind of temperatures that we're expecting today, we know heat and humidity combined can set us up for the possibility of more thunderstorms. And that chance is certainly there for later on today. Yes, the temperatures will be soaring. We felt it yesterday, well above seasonal. We're going to feel it again today and throughout the rest of this week. As far as what the futurecast is showing, not a whole lot, but we know that that chance is there to get that precipitation developing. A little bit cooler tomorrow, but only a little bit, still above seasonal. And then we're back up into those low 30s or high 20s, where we'll stay all throughout the long weekend. And look who came to visit us this morning. Oh, hello. I think it's a peregrine falcon. I believe, yeah, he's often been, or she, or maybe it's a new one, but I feel like there's somebody that likes to hang out on this little perch there. So good morning to you. Looking so cute. Oh, and our art today. Thank you to Shepherd for this beautiful bit of sunshine for the time that we're enjoying nothing but clouds over us right now. So we appreciate this bright moment. Keep the art coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca.
Thank you, Terry. The union representing postal workers in Winnipeg wants Canada Post to provide safety training. It follows an attack on a mail carrier over the weekend in Waverly Heights. And as CTV's Joseph Bernacki shows you, the union hopes self-defense training could help keep mail carriers safer on their routes.
On any given day, postal workers could face any number of dangers, be it dogs, slippery roads, and increasingly people.
Over the past 12 months or so, we've had 12 incidents of carriers being attacked in various states and places, every area of the city, with various circumstances, different levels of severity.
Sean Tugby, the local president of the Postal Workers Union, says while confrontations on the job are rare, postal carriers want self-defense training. The union believes that could be a less invasive approach to a confrontation rather than carrying a weapon.
I think it's a skill, that necessary skill that most people should have. We're looking for ways to defend ourselves in case we're in a precarious place.
Michael Tavares owns Gracie Jiu-Jitsu and started teaching martial arts in 2012. Tavares says the skills learned in jiu-jitsu are very practical for self-defense and could be learned by anyone.
You don't need to be a competitor or an athlete to do this. You just need to know a series of techniques that is going to be simple to do.
Tavares says a couple weekends of training with regular follow-up learning every few years should help someone defend themselves while on the job. It's all part of an effort to boost an individual's self-confidence and their spatial awareness.
Making the job more enjoyable, learning how to even prevent and see situations arising that they could avoid. Much more easy and clear.
In a statement to CTV News, a spokesperson from Canada Post says their employees are equipped with tools and receive regular safety training on de-escalation and self-removal from dangerous situations. Local operational leaders and employees are also empowered to decide whether to temporarily stop deliveries if they do not feel safe in certain situations. Sean Tugby says more can be done to keep their letter carriers safe on the job.
We should be able to work safely no matter what season it is.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
A Manitoba mother is asking for help solving the homicide of her son 2 years ago. 25-year-old Lyndon McIver went missing after a night out with friends on August 26, 2023 on Lake Manitoba First Nation. His body was found in a wooded area in the community 5 days later. His death has been deemed a homicide and the investigation remains ongoing. Lyndon's mother tells CTV News it's been a long 2 years waiting for answers.
Some days I don't sleep at night. I don't know, I pray every day that somebody says something. Because today is 2 years and I still don't know what happened to him.
McIver is being remembered as a helpful man who loved life and especially loved his 2 young sons. Anyone with information on the investigation is asked to call RCMP. A new survey suggests strong support for 3 methods to improve nurse recruitment and retention in our province. The findings are detailed in a Léger survey commissioned by the College of Registered Nurses of Manitoba. 1,600 registered nurses or nurse practitioners were polled for the survey. Respondents were most in favor of addressing workplace conditions, followed by boosting support for new nurses and increasing the number of seats for nursing programs.
I think what we have to do as a regulator is understand how we support employers and those nurses and others in making sure that the training that they get really does help them, build that broad level of understanding they need to be an effective care provider.
The online survey took place between June 1st and 11th. No margin of error can be assigned with non-random samples. 2 new measles exposure sites in Manitoba to tell you about, both in the Pembina Valley. The first was at C.W. Weeb Medical Center in Winkler on August 21st from 8:45 to 11:30 a.m. The other is at Focal Point Comprehensive Vision Care in Morden, also on August 21st from 4 to 10 p.m. If you were at either place during those times, the province advises you to monitor for symptoms until September 21st and check your immunization records. Measles symptoms normally appear within 7 to 21 days after exposure and may include fever, runny nose, drowsiness, red eyes, and small white spots inside the mouth. There have been 177 confirmed cases and 11 probable cases of measles in Manitoba this year. Prime Minister Mark Carney remains in Latvia today, capping off his trip to Europe by visiting our Canadian troops.
If we want a safer world,
we need a stronger Canada. And so it's the service of the women and men behind me and those that they represent. It's their service and sacrifice that makes Canada strong.
Carney extended the Canadian military mission in Latvia by 3 years to 2029 in an effort to deter further Russian aggression in Europe. Carney's office says there are now 2,000 Canadian Armed Forces troops in Latvia as part of Operation Reassurance, which is Canada's largest overseas mission.
And the government of Canada just told me that we got your back. You're here now. The extension has been in place. That gives me an opportunity to work on my #1 task, which is interoperability, which allows me to achieve the defense task that I have, which contributes to the strategic mission of deterrence.
Canadian troops have been in Latvia since 2017 to strengthen the defense of Europe's eastern flank and to deter Russia from invading Baltic countries. Colonel Christopher Reeves says they do need some additional equipment to help in their mission, such as better aerial systems, including drones. When it comes to health, there's no shortage of quick fixes and fads, but experts say to focus on wellness in the long term.
It's just an approach and ways of integrating into daily life that can help with your mental, physical health, and overall well-being.
Dr. Wynne Armand with Mass General Brigham says there are 5 proven ways to start improving your health now. First, make mindfulness a daily habit. That means intentional focus on the present moment. She says it can help anxiety as well as focus and concentration. Next, prioritize quality sleep. Armand views sleep as medicine, helping to reduce stress while promoting healthy eating, concentration, and performance. Third, choose whole foods. She says diets rich in vegetables and legumes without being processed support longevity and vitality.
Many of these additives are not good for us, and they feed into the craving and it makes it easier to overeat.
Fourth, move more, sit less. Armand says exercise isn't limited to the gym. Incorporate it into your life, like walking more. And finally, protect against toxins by swapping out plastics in your kitchen. Here's a look at what's happening on the Norwood Bridge. Looks like it would be a good day to go for a walk, but overall, things are moving quite well on this part of the route. If you have any problems out there, let us know.
Oh, I know.
Let's go now to Ainsley, who's been playing with some dogs this morning. They're in need of some forever homes. Good morning, Ainsley. Who's that?
Well, you mentioned going for a walk, Rochelle. Today would be the perfect day to do that with the Doggy Dates program. This is Fern. Of course, as soon as we go to the camera, Fern doesn't want to be a... Oh, it's okay, honey. Fern doesn't know me, so we're just getting to know each other. One of 38 dogs here in their care. They've been at capacity for months now, and they've actually had to double up the little units for the dogs. The Doggy Dates program allows you to check out a dog like a library book, see if it fits you and your family and all of those characteristics. Fern here is a very good dog, and it would be a perfect candidate for adoption, especially if you've got kids at home. Aw, it's early. It's early for all of us. There's also a special promotion going on right now for the dogs that have been in their care for the longest, but there's tons of dogs that might be able to fit you and your needs. Coming up, we're going to learn about them.
She's pretty sweet.
Oh,
okay.
Fern.
Oh, Fern. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop. Good day to take Fern out for a walk, Terry.
You bet it is. A beautiful morning, most definitely. And then later on today, maybe a siesta with Fern. Because it is going to be a hot one today, and you might not want to be out and about during those peak temperatures. But this morning, so very pleasant. We've actually dropped off several degrees from where we were hanging last hour, down to 16, but still above seasonal. 10 degrees, that would be a normal low, so we're still well above that, even if it has cooled slightly in this last hour, but some heavier clouds hanging over us and a little bit more sunshine as I look off to the west right now. The pressure rising, humidity sitting at 88%. There were some showers that rolled over the southeastern part of the province and still are in some parts of the southeast. There's a wasp. Tis that season. Showers and maybe some thunderstorms to continue through the southeastern parts of Manitoba into northwestern Ontario is where they're currently tracking, but other places may see some of that activity today as well, right up into northeastern Manitoba, or even here through the south, the chance that later on today some showers or thunderstorms develop again because of these hot temperatures into the high 20s. That's where we're headed this afternoon, around 28 degrees, 23 a normal daytime high, so soaring well beyond that, and not just today. Expect to be feeling the heat throughout the rest of this week.
CTV Morning Live Weather brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
Thank you, Terry. Let's check in now on our question of the day with all the Swifties excited about the big engagement yesterday. We'd like to know, what celebrity wedding would you most want to be invited to? Just a quick reminder, our question of the day has moved from Twitter, so now we want you to text your answer along with your name to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response. At CTV Morning Live, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, whether they're furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions are amazing. We want to see more, whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals. Send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to petoftheweek@ctv.ca, and then catch us every Thursday between 6 and 9 to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on CTV Morning Live. We're going to take a break here. We'll be back after this. Good morning. It is 7:16. The family of a Norwegian hiker whose body was recovered Sunday in the far north says an autopsy shows the man drowned. A family spokesperson says police told the family Stefan Schutelvik's autopsy is complete and he drowned. The 29-year-old was on a cross-continental journey of the Canadian wilderness when he set out on foot from Fort Severn in Ontario to York Factory, Manitoba. Investigators had said Schutelvik may have tried to cross the swift-moving Hayes River and got swept away. His family is preparing to travel to Canada to bring his body home and meet some of the people who searched for him. Winnipeg saw the highest number of people experiencing homelessness at a single time last fall than in the past 10 years. That's according to End Homelessness Winnipeg, which just released the results of last November's annual street census. The organization says 2,469 people were unhoused at that time, which is the most since tracking began in 2015. The report says the majority were men between the ages of 30 and 49, and most have been homeless for more than 6 months. The vast majority, nearly 8 in 10, were Indigenous. End Homelessness Winnipeg is hosting a media conference Thursday, along with government representatives to go over the findings. A meeting between Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc and U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is now being called constructive as trade talks continue.
This is very important to reset the stage, unlock the negotiations, and hopefully come to a good place between the two countries.
The meeting with Lutnick lasted 90 minutes, which was longer than scheduled, but it's still not known whether the countries are any closer to a deal. Ottawa continues to look for relief from U.S. tariffs on key Canadian sectors, including steel and aluminum. The meeting comes after Canada dropped some retaliatory tariffs on some U.S. products, including oranges, alcohol, motorcycles, and cosmetics. These baby snapping turtles are settling into their new home.
Been really excited about all of the turtle work going on here and keeping track of what's going on and all of the amazing research happening.
The hatchlings were released into the Rideau River yesterday, about 2 months after a nest was found on campus at Carleton University. Charlotte was the researcher called to help incubate the eggs. They know mom came from the Rideau River, so the babies will be brought to a spot closest to where the nest was found. And here's a look now at what's going on in traffic along Portage Avenue. It looks like things are still quite light at this hour. Nothing to report at this point. If you see any problems out on the streets, please let us know.
CTV Morning Live Traffic brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. No appointment needed.
Time now for some entertainment news. Even more big names are headed to Winnipeg Comic-Con. Malcolm McDowell of A Clockwork Orange and John Cassira, the voice of the Crypt Keeper, are joining this year's lineup. Fans can grab autographs, take photos, and catch them live on stage along with Ron Perlman, Lou Diamond Phillips, and many more. Winnipeg Comic-Con runs October 24th to the 26th at the RBC Convention Center. Free tickets go on sale today for FanFest. The annual Winnipeg Jets tradition kicks off the 2025-26 hockey season. You can attend one of 2 on-ice training camp sessions. The day also features interactive games, inflatables, and a ball hockey rink. You can win memorabilia and get your gear signed at autograph sessions. FanFest takes place on Saturday, September 20th at the Hockey for All Center near Portage Avenue in the West Perimeter. Tickets are free, available today through the Winnipeg Jets website. They're decking the halls over at Portage Place Mall, and no, it's not very early Christmas decorations you're seeing. The mall in downtown Winnipeg is being used as one of the sets for Violent Night 2. The first movie was a campy action comedy that sees a disgruntled Santa Claus do battle with a team of mercenaries who take a wealthy family hostage. The sequel is set for theatrical release in December. Your primetime lineup begins tonight at 7 with Master Chef. At 8, Gordon Ramsay's Secret Service. Then at 9, catch the Battle of the Generations. And at 10, laugh along with Match Game. All right, last night, Terry, I told you earlier I went for a bike ride, and that sun, it was beaming on my shoulders, on my back. I swear, I feel like I got a slight burn.
Oh, okay. And this is where we get tricked, right? Yeah. We've had those cooler temperatures, and a lot of us are already flipping gears into like fall season in our mind. And then all of a sudden we're reminded that summer is not over yet.
Yay.
In a very big way, right? Yeah, and perfectly timed out because we've got this last week to enjoy before kids are headed back to school, and it kind of gives that bit of a refresh to the next season. Here's a look right now through the Bathfitter Live Eye Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. The sun glowing from behind those clouds. There are still a few heavier clouds out there, and I'll show you in a second the satellite image, and you'll see more than clouds, but the showers and even storms that have been rolling through parts of the southeast. But still very mild temperatures, even though we've dropped off from 20 degrees down to 16, so cooled considerably in this past hour, but 16 is still well above seasonal. Normal lows would be around 10 degrees. Closer to those numbers, the southwestern part of the province, even a little cooler than that, some single digits for Brandon and in Roblin this morning. Thompson also sitting at just 9 degrees, and even cooler yet, it's 6 at the moment in Churchill and in Gillam. There will be plenty of sunshine up in that far northeast, but for other places where you're in the double digits, some of the reason that you're as mild as you are is you've got those extra clouds that act as that layer of insulation. More than clouds for us, you can see the precipitation rolling through southeastern Manitoba and into northwestern Ontario, and there is that chance that we could see more of that yet throughout the afternoon. Because these temperatures are going to be soaring today, well above seasonal, when you get that heat and humidity combined, that possibility for storms developing. Midday will be reaching what is normal for this time of year, but into the afternoon, skyrocketing. Well, I mean, not excessive, but hotter than you would expect, certainly. So mid to high 20s, even hitting 30 perhaps later on this week, and remaining well above seasonal as we look ahead through. Do we call it September long when it's August? Anyway, yes, I think we do. It's September long weekend, and by the time we're looking on the other side of that, things will be cooling down. Beautiful shot of that rainbow formed over the lake out at Black Sturgeon Lake. Thanks to Jill for the photo, and keep them coming, please, to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
Thanks, Terry. The debate about how to combat the toxic drug crisis has not let up, with many options on the table. A question that's not often considered is why people turn to illicit drugs in the first place. A world-renowned expert in addiction began his medical career in Vancouver, forming powerful insights. CTV's Penny Daflos now on what Dr. Gabor Mate calls BC's deaths of despair.
Childhood is a golden time for many of us, but for some it can lay the groundwork for a difficult life in their brains.
The more stress, trauma, instability there's in the environment, the less these circuits develop properly. The more traumatic experiences people have in childhood, by far the greater the risk of addiction.
Best-selling author Dr. Gabor Mate continues to transfix millions of viewers.
The real question in addiction is not why the addiction, but why the pain.
Across various mediums.
The #1 health podcast in the world.
With his profound insights.
Trauma is a wound. It's a psychic wound that leaves a scar, it leaves an imprint.
After practicing family medicine in Vancouver, going on to provide addiction treatment in the downtown east side while working at St. Paul's Hospital. CTV News reached the world-renowned expert on the Gulf Islands.
Both the science and the empathy is missing from the public discourse.
There's been no shortage of rallies and backlash against BC policies like safer supply and supervised consumption sites.
This is about the street disorder and the disorder that surrounds the overdose prevention site.
We should be helping them get off the drugs and not just having a location for them to use the drug.
The most prevalent myth around addiction is that people are choosing to behave the way they are.
He points to multiple studies and research finding poverty and lack of emotional care can impact children and our society.
The more inequality there is in a country, the more addiction there is, the more illness there is, and the more hostility there is.
Matei wants to see education for doctors, police, teachers, and the public about risk factors and how harm reduction measures aren't a solution, but a way to reduce the spread of disease and preventable deaths and connect with those who are suffering.
People are desperate to soothe their pain, so desperate that they even take the risk of taking lethal medications. Well, what is that if not despair?
When viewed through Matei's compassionate lens, British Columbia records on average 5 deaths of despair every day. Penny Daflos, CTV News, Vancouver.
All right, coming up, look at this dog. She needs a forever home. He, beautiful dog. Anyway, coming up, we're going to hear a little bit more about animal services and why the need is great for foster homes and adoptees. Stay with us. Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who's been having all kinds of doggy dates this morning. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, Rochelle. If you see that Fern is a little jumpy, it's only because there's a fly. And she's been trying to catch the fly. You're going to want to adopt this dog by the time we're done this segment. Jennifer Medlicott joins us now, alongside Fern, of course. And she's super sociable.
Yeah, she's a great dog. I would think she'd be a great family dog for almost any home. She's very calm, good demeanor, obviously likes to catch flies. But yeah, she's just a really sweet girl.
Yeah. And I noticed too, especially with these doggy dates, that they have the Adopt Me vest. That's a really important piece because when you check out the dog, as you guys have explained, like a library book, it allows the public to see these dogs and potentially adopt them themselves.
Yeah, it's honestly a fantastic program. It gets the dogs out of the shelter for the day, or for a weekend and overnight, whatever you'd like to do. It lets people see them out in the community. It gives our staff a bit of a break and lets these dogs explore the world, gets lots of enrichment for them. So it's a win-win for everybody.
I love it. Because they're so confined to these shelter spaces, you guys are at capacity. How important is it to give them the space and the freedom to move around outside of here?
Yeah, well, adoptable dogs are best when they're calm and relaxed, and unfortunately our environment just doesn't always provide that. Our team does a lot to make sure that their days are nice and they get lots of enrichment. We have volunteers that help out, but doggy dates are just a great way that the public can give that added support that these dogs need and get their future families.
And you guys have support from the community as well, with various partners that people can actually go and physically bring the dogs to. What are a few of them?
Yeah, like for doggy dates, people can come down, take the dog out. They could go to malls that offer, they allow dogs to walk the malls, and you could take them to parks. Assiniboine Park or any green space in the city is a great way to get the dogs exposure. Yeah.
One last call out for Fern. I think that she's done an excellent job, Rochelle, of really getting the attention of our audience. And she can keep herself so occupied too, as long as there's flies around.
She's so cute. Thank you. Oh my goodness, it just
Fern has won a lot of hearts this morning.
I know. All those flies are bugging her, and that's kind of the situation. This is the time of year, right?
Could you imagine, right? Like all of a sudden you have no flies in your home because you have Fern.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh my goodness. You know, I've been saying though, if you do want to get your dog out for a walk, do it early this morning because it's going to get hot today. Or if you're thinking about maybe taking them up on a doggy date, sign up early. These early morning hours, it's so very pleasant out there. Look at the sun shining through those clouds. What a stunning start to your day. It's 16 degrees with northeast winds 8 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 88%. Those extra clouds are where the rain came from earlier this morning. I'm not sure if you heard it. Around 3 a.m. there were some thunderstorms. Now there is still a little activity in areas surrounding us, not necessarily in Winnipeg, but the possibility is still there. And certainly in areas to the east of us and further east yet into northwestern Ontario, but also up into parts of northeastern Manitoba, that chance of showers or maybe thunderstorms, because we could see that developing again later on today. With this kind of heat, no surprise there, 28 degrees. That'll put us well above seasonal and similar to where we were yesterday. If you thought yesterday was a warm one, but I mean, we're not talking like dumb hot. Like it's not like it's 35 degrees. You know, there's always that week. I feel like we didn't get that week, right? That stretch that I'm talking about where it's 35 degrees and we have those extreme heat warnings. That was not this summer. So this is kind of our blast of heat that we're getting into the high 20s. Overnight down to 12 degrees, clear conditions expected, lots of sunshine tomorrow. Not quite as hot, 26 expected, but after that, temperatures on the rise again. We could hit 30 degrees and then stay in those high 20s all throughout the long weekend with a bit of precipitation Monday and a slight cool down to come your way Tuesday.
Thank you, Terry. The family of a teenage boy who drowned at Cindy Clauston Recreation Complex is suing the city of Winnipeg and a number of lifeguards, claiming they each had a duty to protect the boy but failed to do so. 14-year-old Adam Soretta Paul drowned last April. His family is suing the city and 4 unnamed lifeguards, seeking more than $100,000 in damages from each. According to a statement of claim filed in the Manitoba Court of King's Bench, Soretta Paul was discovered at the bottom of the pool's dive tank by one of the lifeguards on duty. The suit alleges the city and its licensed lifeguards were negligent and breached their statutory duty by failing to adequately supervise and guard the teen, which caused his death. Additionally, the documents claim the city also failed to have an adequate number of lifeguards on duty that day. The city hasn't filed a statement of defense. In an email to CTV News, the city says it is aware of the statement of claim, but declined to comment further as the matter is before the courts. The Manitoba Progressive Conservatives have hung on to a seat in a by-election long considered a Tory stronghold. Voters in Spruce Woods headed to the polls Tuesday to elect a new member of the Legislative Assembly, and the votes have been counted. According to the unofficial results posted on Election Manitoba's website, Tory Colleen Robbins clinched 2,805 votes, followed closely by NDP opponent Ray Berthollet, who had 2,735 votes. Manitoba Liberal candidate Stephen Reid trailed in a distant third with 444 votes. All advance and election day polls have reported. Elections Manitoba says adding officials' results will be released today. The seat has been empty since March when Grant Jackson resigned to run for the federal Conservatives. The result won't change the balance of power at the legislature. The NDP holds a comfortable 34 seats compared to the Tories' 20. The Middlesex London Health Unit has redeclared a Legionnaire's outbreak in London after 25 additional cases were reported. They'd originally declared the outbreak over at the beginning of this month. At the time, officials had identified 70 cases and 3 deaths related to the outbreak. They now say the likely source of the Legionnaire's outbreak is Sofina Foods. 4 people have now died, and there's 94 serious pneumonia cases and 86 hospitalizations. According to the health unit, products from Sofina Foods are safe to consume because the bacteria isn't spread by eating or drinking. The health unit says multiple cooling towers at 9 separate locations have tested positive for live Legionella bacteria. Most of them are in South Central London. Canada Post is reporting major financial losses as its parcels business drops due to labor uncertainty.
That was why I had to make the move and say we can't rely 100% on one source. I've got to run a business and I can't shut down for a month or month and a half at a time.
Canada Post reported a loss before tax of $407 million in its second quarter. Last year's strike and the threat of more disruption this spring have left many business owners looking for other options, choosing to go with other carriers to ship parcels. Canada Post is in a fresh round of contract talks with its postal workers after the employees rejected an offer by the company earlier this year. A 50% U.S. tariff on goods from India is now in effect. This makes India one of countries hardest hit by tariffs in the world. India was facing a 25% tariff, but U.S. President Donald Trump doubled it as punishment for India buying Russian oil. India has the world's 5th biggest economy, and the U.S. is its top trade partner. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is promising tax cuts to help soften the economic blow. Staying at the racetrack, but not your usual horses. Corgi races were just one event at Corgi Focused event in Lithuania. In addition to the races, there was a contest for the mightiest voice, as well as costume challenges. 120 teams from around the world took part, which culminated with the World Corgi Meetup, where people at the European event connected with peers elsewhere around the world via a live broadcast. So cute. Here's a look now at what's happening on Kenniston Boulevard. It looks like things have picked up over in this part of the city. Overall moving quite well, though, no issues to tell you about. Now let's take a look at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.38. The provincial average is slightly higher at $1.40. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.44. The lowest price in the city is $1.34. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
Price at the pump brought to you by kidneycard.ca. Get a free tow and a tax receipt for value of your car.
Right now, it is 16 degrees outside, and that sun is trying to burst through those clouds. More news, weather, and traffic is on the way.
CTV Morning Live is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
Still seeing a few extra clouds. Ooh, do we have a little visitor this morning? Bud, the bug is back. We can only hope. I'm sure that Bud had a lifespan of about 48 hours, so maybe this is Bud the 3rd or 6th. It's 16 degrees, northeast winds 8 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 88%. That's looking a lot brighter out there, that particular view. Other places you might still see a few extra clouds hanging around. If you're looking off into the east, that may be the case. As you can see, we've still got some showers and thunderstorms firing off through southeastern Manitoba and into parts of northwestern Ontario. Northeastern Manitoba as well might see a little bit of scattered precipitation, although further into the northeast, sunny conditions. Mid-teens or low 20s. We're back up to what is normal for this time of year for much of northern Manitoba, with a brighter day expected along that western border and even for the northeast, where you've got the heavier clouds this morning and maybe the scattered showers. Clearing is expected then into the afternoon. Now, we too will see some sunshine today, most definitely, but with these hot temperatures, and it will be a hot one all through southwestern Manitoba, southeastern Manitoba as well, above seasonal, 23 degrees normal, and we'll be pushing up instead into those high 20s. There is the possibility not just of this morning showers, but to see something developing again later on into the afternoon. Northwestern Ontario, you've still got the round to come this morning, so expect things to be a little bit soggy to kick off your Wednesday. Maybe a little more sunshine as the day goes on. Still some more heat to come throughout this week. 23 I mentioned being normal for this time of year. We're well above that, even getting up to 30 degrees and staying hot all throughout the coming long weekend. Now, it does look like we could get another round of precipitation holiday Monday, and from there showers continuing into the start of next week, and a bit of a drop off with those temperatures. It'll feel a little more September-like on the other side of the weekend.
Thank you, Terry. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at Animal Services this morning. If you live in the city and you have a cat or a dog, it's the law to get them licensed. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, Rochelle. Yeah, there's a laundry list of things that pet owners need to know, and we want to hammer home all of that this morning. Zoe joins us once again, and we have a new friend, a new model, I guess I should say. Who is this?
This is Gojo. So Gojo is a Great Pyrenees mix. He's been with us. Oh, he's a little scared of the camera. Gojo's a little camera shy.
I think it's Kenny, don't worry.
Poor Kenny. So Gojo's a really good dog. We have him as a level 2 dog, so he has a little bit of shyness about him, obviously. He's going to need some socialization, but he's going to end up being a great dog.
Oh, super friendly. When it comes to the list of things pet owners need, let's actually first talk about this space itself here at Animal Services. What goes on here?
So this is where the magic happens. This is what we call our examination room. So this is the first stop for every dog who comes into our facility. This is where they get vaccinated on intake to keep everybody in the building safe. This is where our spay and neuter clinic happens behind closed doors over there. So we vaccinate, we spay, neuter, we do all the things that a dog needs prior to adoption so that people can come in and they have a fully vetted, healthy dog.
Yeah. The conversation about spaying and neutering our pets, very key. Why is that, and why is that the message to Winnipeggers?
Right. So not only does it give you a break on your licensing fees, a spayed and neutered license is a third of the cost of an intact license. And the reason for that is that I have 38 dogs in my care right now. And if we spayed and neutered all of our dogs, we would be able to lessen that very, very significantly. So we certainly encourage every pet owner to spay and neuter in order to reduce the overpopulation problem.
Yeah. There's other things that pet owners should know as well. What do you want the public to be aware of?
I mean, licensing is such an important piece. Our officers in the field pick up dogs every single day. Between 3 and 5 stray dogs come into this facility every single day. Most of those dogs have loving owners at home waiting for them, coming here to pick them up. Ultimately, if our officers pick those dogs up in the field and they were wearing a license, we have a free ride program. So our officer would check the license tag and bring that dog right back home. It would never have to enter this shelter facility, which ultimately is good for the shelter, but is good for the dog as well. This isn't the ideal place for dogs to come. We want them to go home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And a home for everyone. Hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
Super friendly. Rochelle.
Thank you, Ainsley. On Canada's East Coast, a wildfire in Nova Scotia's Annapolis County has doubled in size, forcing more residents to flee. The Long Lake fire has left more than 1,000 people wondering if they will have anything to return to. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth on the agonizing wait.
2 days after being ordered to evacuate her home with the out-of-control Long Lake wildfire burning nearby, Luann Eisner's emotions are still raw.
I was grateful. I was grateful that we had an alert.
Around 500 homes or properties have been evacuated in this area. Rob Howie is waiting for any news from firefighters or county officials on the condition of his property in West Dalhousie.
Lots of my friends and neighbors have lost their homes. I don't know about mine for sure.
The wildfire, burning for 13 days, is now more than 80 square kilometers in size.
Even though it may not be described as extreme in terms of large flames and you know, the volumes of smoke we saw on Sunday, it's still burning very intensely and deep in the ground.
The smoke hovering over this area has prompted air quality alerts for 4 Nova Scotia counties, including some areas that are roughly 200 kilometers away from the wildfire.
Depends on what way the wind's blowing. It's pretty nice here today, but if you were here yesterday, it was looked like the fog was rolling in.
As people who live here wait for the wildfire to be extinguished, those fighting the flames are about to get some relief. A crew of 20 from Ontario will arrive on Wednesday to give Nova Scotia firefighters a much-needed break. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, West Dalhousie, Nova Scotia.
Hello there, Kara Wagland inside the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. And for it, we are going to Toronto, where the Jays were hosting the Twins. Bases loaded for Brooks Lee, and he lines one into right. The good news is Adam Berger is in right. It's a great jump, nice diving catch. Not only that, he quickly gets up, gets the ball in for the double play at second. What a great grab from Berger. Doesn't waste any time getting up and firing it back to record another out. Very nice heads-up play. It is also your must-see moment from Tuesday. And the U.S. Open continues today with day 4 action with Carlos Alcaraz, Arina Sabalenka, Novak Djokovic, and Canadian Leila Fernandez all in action. Your coverage gets underway at 10 a.m. Central Time. That's all for now from SportsCenter. Have a great day.
TSN Must-See Moments brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, your Hunter Douglas shade provider for over 40 years. CTV Morning Live Weather brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
All right, it's warm out here this morning, warmer than you might expect for this time of year, although we dropped off into the 7 o'clock hour from 20 degrees down to the current 16. Northeast winds are 8 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 88%. There are still a few extra clouds hanging over us. They brought some showers in the early morning hours, but now that system has been moving off further to the southeast and into northwestern Ontario, where it'll continue to track today. And as that happens, we'll likely see a little more sunshine as the last of these clouds clear. Across the province today, southern Manitoba will be on the hotter side, well above seasonal, topping out in those high 20s, whereas northern Manitoba a little bit closer to seasonal values. But anyone along this eastern border may see these lingering showers this morning, but even a chance of more activity developing later on today. No surprise with where the temperatures are headed. I mentioned it's going to be hot, and not just today, but throughout the rest of the week.
Thank you, Terry. The National Mail Service has reported its largest loss in a single quarter. Canada Post says the drop is directly linked to customers turning to other carriers. Out of concern, another strike could delay their deliveries. CTV's Rachel Ayalo has more.
Canada Post lost $407 million between April and June. Its profits deteriorating due in part to a dramatic decline in parcel customers. Revealing the record loss, Canada Post said it continues to confront significant operational and structural challenges, and the ongoing labor uncertainty has contributed significantly. Last year's strike and the threat of more disruption this spring prompted this hobby shop owner, who for nearly 40 years loved and relied on Canada Post, to pivot.
That was why I had to make the move and say we can't rely 100% on one source.
He now lets his customers across the country choose their courier.
I've got to run a business and I can't shut down for a month or month and a half at a time.
The uncertainty is shared by Canada Post workers, the union says, as contract negotiations with the Crown Corporation remain stalled.
It affects us every day, and when you're going to get a mortgage or you're going to buy a car, those are things that you worry about. Do you have a job in the future?
The minister responsible calling Canada Post's financial situation deeply troubling, saying both sides have a responsibility to ensure a future that continues to serve Canadians, and that the government is committed to a sustainable, modern, and resilient postal service.
With the government's expenditure review well underway, the minister also said he'll be keeping a close eye on Canada Post, which is on track to record an even larger annual loss in 2025 than last year's $840 million. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
A small Alberta business owner never thought social media would lead to a trip to California to drop off work for a rock star. A phone call from Kiss's Paul Stanley kicked off a year-long project and special surprise. CTV's Jordan Canagan has more.
Wow. I mean, look at...
Paul Stanley is used to dazzling other people, but it was the Kiss frontman who was impressed by a Calgary company last month.
It's a piece of art.
Yeah.
We tried. Yeah. That's great.
You guys killed it.
You guys.
Thank you. The rock star took delivery of a custom-made table from Black Forest Wood Company. The Calgary family-run business worked with Stanley to design and build the piece over the last year.
It's 15.5 feet long, 5 feet wide, ended up weighing probably about 1,000 pounds for the top. It's made with a walnut burl and resin, and then we've got this custom X base that we constructed to sit beneath it.
Wood was sourced from Oregon to be worked on in Calgary. Then the table was shipped down to Beverly Hills. It took about a dozen people just to lift it into the rocker's home.
It was an amazing feeling because I was pretty confident he was going to be happy with it, but I really truly didn't expect him to basically put on a show for us and really just show his admiration for the piece.
Stanley opted for a custom high-gloss finish on the resin and matte finish on the wood. That alone took about a week. The reaction from the lead singer made it all worth it.
Paul Stanley actually made us all feel quite comfortable. He was on an equal level with us, and it kind of took away from that anxiety. It was just more excitement, more so than a discomfort at all.
The crew also surprising Stanley with a custom guitar made out of maple burl, meaning their work could one day make it up onto the big stage. Jordan Canagan, CTV News, Calgary.
Isn't that cool? All right, coming up at 8:06, you're looking at dogs needing forever homes. Stay with us for more details on how you could adopt them. Stay with us. It's time for Let's Celebrate. Let's see who's having a celebration today. Happy birthday to Lynn. Have a great day. Love Colleen, Roy, Amber, Joe, Scarlett, and Poppy. Happy birthday to Mike, with love from all your friends across Eastern Ontario. Happy 66th birthday to Joanne, with love from your daughter, Mel, and the rest of your family and friends. And a happy 70th birthday to Giselle. Lots of love and hugs from all your family and friends. If someone you care about is having a birthday, anniversary, retirement, or graduation, let's celebrate. To submit your celebration, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Let's Celebrate, brought to you by Party Stuff, 3 Winnipeg locations and at partystuff.ca.
on Wednesday. Thank you so much for being with us. Kids are going back to school in about a week's time, and if you're thinking about hairstyles, we're going to have a hair salon join us at about 8:45, giving us some tips on how to prepare your kids' hair as they head back to the classroom next week. Also, daddy-daughter hair classes are being offered at this hair salon as well. We're going to tell you more about that, but first, your headlines. Manitoba man survives camping disaster. What happened when a tree crashed onto him and his daughter? Plus, Canada extends mission in Latvia to 2029. Will this help deter Russian aggression in Europe? And the best baldies show out how a Mr. Clean lookalike won the first ever bald off competition. And if you are one of those baldies, you might need a hack. This is going to be hot today.
Slather up. Yeah, something to protect your noggin for sure.
Yes.
I know we're not seeing massive amounts of sunshine just yet, although that view is looking a little more clear. When I was up on the rooftop, there are a few clouds hanging around, but those will likely clear as the day goes on. It's 16 degrees with northeast winds, 8 clicks. The pressure is rising. The humidity is sitting at 88%. So some views, yes, especially off to the west, it is looking a little clearer and brighter. Off to the east, you'll see why in just a second when I show you the satellite image. A few extra clouds hanging around. A few extra degrees hanging around too. We've been above seasonal all morning long, at least here in the southeast. We dropped down to 16 degrees into the 7 o'clock hour. We were at 20 degrees just prior to that. Now, cooler yet over in the Brandon, Roblin area, 9 degrees right now. Only place that we're seeing the single digits here in the south, but just for a reference point, 10 degrees would be a normal low here across much of southern Manitoba. For the northeast, you've got some single digits as well, but it's a little more clear in the far northeast where it's a little bit colder, whereas other places into the double digits, maybe a few extra clouds. Those clouds will be clearing as the day goes on. Here are the extra clouds that we're seeing, as I was saying, just off to the east, more than clouds. A little bit of precipitation, some showers, still some thunderstorms that are firing off in some areas, and into northwestern Ontario, you can expect more of that today. You can expect more heat today as well. Noontime temperatures would be seasonal, 23 degrees normal for this time of year, but we're going to soar up into those high 20s or high teens and low 20s across northern Manitoba. It's not just today. The rest of this week, we will be above seasonal. 26 tomorrow, but then back up around 30 degrees or hot 20s as we continue on into the long weekend. Thank you to Shepherd for providing the sun. We needed that this morning when the clouds were here, although we'll all see that sunshine as the day goes on. Send your art to us. We would love to see what you're working on. Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
A Manitoba man survived a horrific camping disaster. A tree fell on Eric Lescheid's tent at an Ontario campground. He says he woke up to his 11-year-old daughter screaming beside him and the tree on top of him. The 37-year-old Tyndall man is in hospital with a broken pelvis and ruptured bladder.
All of a sudden, I felt a large thump, and that was the tree on top of me.
From his hospital bed, Lescheid recalls the freak accident at Blue Lake last Thursday. His younger sons were with Grandma and Grandpa while Lescheid and his 11-year-old daughter pitched a tent. He says it started raining hard, and around 6:30 in the morning, the tree crashed down with Dad and daughter inside. A nearby camper cut through the tent with a knife and got his daughter out unharmed. Lescheid, pinned on his side, was helped by his father piling wood under the tree while the camper sliced Eric's air mattress.
God's heavenly protection was just, never been more palpable than that day.
Lescheid was airlifted to Health Sciences Centre with a pelvis broken in 3 places and a ruptured bladder. His wife Jennifer says they feel lucky knowing the outcome could have been worse. While rare tragedies like this happen, a 2023 man died in Manigatogin, and in 2013, a camper from Quebec died when a tree fell on his tent at Falcon Lake. The Lescheids say their children are doing well, but the family is done with tenting. Prime Minister Mark Carney remains in Latvia today, capping off his trip to Europe by visiting our Canadian troops.
If we want a safer world, we need a stronger Canada. And so it's the service with the women and men behind me and those that they represent. It's their service and sacrifice that makes Canada strong.
Carney extended the Canadian military mission in Latvia by 3 years to 2029 in an effort to deter further Russian aggression in Europe. Carney's office says there are now 2,000 Canadian Armed Forces troops in Latvia as part of Operation Reassurance, which is Canada's largest overseas mission.
And the government of Canada just told me that we got your back. You're here now, the extension has been in place. That gives me an opportunity to work on my number one task, which is interoperability, which allows me to achieve the defense task that I have, which contributes to the strategic mission of deterrence.
Canadian troops have been in Latvia since 2017 to strengthen the defense of Europe's eastern flank and to deter Russia from invading Baltic countries. Colonel Christopher Reeves says they do need some additional equipment to help in their mission, such as better aerial systems, including drones. The best baldies around turned out in Chicago Sunday. A man who looked like Mr. Clean won the first Bald Off competition. It was billed as a contest to declare the Baldest Baldy Award. A hairless cat even showed up. It seems like everyone had fun, so look for another Bald Off in years to come. And here's what's happening now on St. Mary's Road. It looks like things are still quite light over here, but overall moving quite well. No issues to tell you about. If you see any problems out on the streets, please let us know.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
All right, let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at Animal Services this morning. There are some long-term dogs there that are ready for their forever homes, and they've got a good deal on right now if you want to adopt one. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, Michelle. Yes, they certainly do. It's an incentive, especially during the Doggy Dates program as well. Jen is joining us once again alongside Ren. I said that's the name of a sitcom, Jen and Ren. And this space too, it's like a living room. It might be like the living room that they're sitting at home. Why is it curated like that for the pups?
Yeah, so this is really exciting because we just recently changed this room to include this enrichment real life room. So it's a great space for volunteers to sit with a dog at no pressure. It's not about just, going out the door, taking them for a walk. It's about enjoying their time in a space with a person and just letting them relax in a calm, peaceful environment.
Mm-hmm. Going for walks is a big part of that too. Why is it so important that they're getting out of those kennels?
Yeah, unfortunately, our facility is a bit stressful for dogs. A lot of their kennels are facing one another. These dogs are longing for companionship and human interaction. They're social beings, and if we don't have enough time to enrich the dogs daily like they deserve to be, they're a little bit stressed out. So we want to make sure that they're calm, and anything we can do to add, a nice part of their day, we'll do that for them, and this enrichment room is part of that.
Mm-hmm. And that being said, even the sweetest of dogs can be stuck in there for an extended period of time. You have an incentive going on right now that our Rochelle brought up to tee off this segment. What is it?
Yeah, so for our long-term dogs, we've reduced our adoption fee down to $185. So that includes all of their initial vetting, the spay and neuter, all of their first vaccinations. It includes their first year of their pet licensing. So it's really a great value for what you're getting. And these are really great dogs. They're here for the most part, no fault of their own. And we're just trying to get them into a loving home.
Mm-hmm. And guess what? Ren is one of those. So if you're watching at home and you want to either take Ren out for a doggy date or see if she'd be right for your family, check it out.
We will. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Canada's decision to lift retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods starting September 1st is bringing relief to some shoppers and retailers. As CTV's Dave Charbonneau reports, business owners in the country's capital have been feeling the impact.
You find everything you were looking for? Yeah.
At Cedars & Co. Food Market on Bank Street, they've had to shift away from offering American produce and goods.
We have had to transition because of the tariffs.
Back in March, the Carney government imposed counter tariffs on a long list of American goods, including coffee and tea, orange juice, tires, shoes, and electronics.
When the tariffs came in, we saw a huge rise on dry goods as well as product lines in the produce area. So from anything that came in from the United States, oranges went up significantly up in price. So we transitioned. South Africa, Argentina, Ecuador, Portugal, Morocco. I like to know where my products come from.
With Canada set to lift tariffs September 1st, businesses and shoppers are counting on lower prices.
I would say 90% of our clients have boycotted U.S. goods, and they are relying solely on Canadian goods.
They support local businesses, Canadian businesses, and try to avoid unnecessary tariffs where they apply.
I want to support the local producers. The people who are doing all the work, I want to support them on the Canadian side.
At Capital Furniture and Mattress, owner Nadia Gadban says tariffs have hurt sales.
They've slowed down business for sure.
But come September 1st, Gadban plans to cut prices.
We are going to drop our prices back down by 15% so that we're back to the norm that we were because customers have noticed the sudden increase. So this is our Canadian brand.
But when it comes to mattresses, customers here also buying Canadian.
Our business has gone up 25% since the tariffs were implemented because people have stopped buying the American brand.
The price of coffee beans went up considerably the minute the tariffs hit.
Back at Cedars & Co., Dibbs says she might consider U.S. goods again, but only as a last resort.
So if the produce significantly comes down in price and we need to adjust and we cannot find it in other countries, diverse countries, we will definitely have to fall back on the U.S.
Dave Charbonneau, CTV News.
We're going to get more heat today, Terry.
Yeah, we sure are. Are you enjoying it? Like, do you like this little blast of...
I do. I like the heat. Yes, it's very nice.
I'm loving it, too. I've been cruising around with the top down the past couple of days, and I'm like, oof, don't want this to end. Now, here's the thing. On the other side of the weekend, it may all come to an end. So for those of you that aren't fans of the heat, is that Bud back again? I thought I saw a bug on the camera. Anyway, on the other side of the weekend, things will be cooling down. For those of you that love this, make the most of it because it doesn't look like it'll last beyond the weekend. Here's a look through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. Just a few clouds. There was a little bit of precipitation. Some thunderstorms developed in the overnight hours. Around 3 a.m. is when it began here in Winnipeg. And then it tapered off pretty quickly after that. 17 degrees. That's where we're sitting right now. So that's up a degree from last hour, up a few degrees from last hour. We've got Brandon and Roblin now in the double digits. You were in the single digits last hour, but warming up. 12 degrees, the average temperature all through the southwest right now. A little bit warmer than that, as you can see, through the southeast. For northern Manitoba, still some single digits in the far northeast. That's where things are a little bit clearer. Clear often means cold. It's the extra clouds that provide the insulation, and you're lucking in with those milder temperatures in the mid-teens across much of northern Manitoba, where those few extra clouds are lingering. Speaking of clouds, more than that, a little precipitation here in the southeast, showers, and still some thunderstorms that are firing off in the area. That'll continue through northwestern Ontario as well. As far as seasonal goes, well beyond that. By noontime today, we're back up to what is normal for this time of year, but similar to yesterday, temperatures will be on the rise. Highs of high 20s or high teens and low 20s across northern Manitoba. Won't be anywhere near as warm. We've got these hot temperatures to last throughout the week, or at least above seasonal. Not quite as hot tomorrow, but back up to 30 degrees and remaining well above normal as we look ahead into the long weekend. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with more CTV Morning Live.
Good morning. Tuesday marked International Dog Day, so now we're highlighting one particularly good dog. Suki has a nose for a very specific food ingredient. ABC's Danny New explains.
Did I get my gluten detection dog? I trained her.
This is Suki, a certified cutie and a certified gluten detection dog. How essential is Suki to your life?
She is such a game changer for me.
For California's Kendra Williams here, who has celiac disease.
Good girl.
Her 5-year-old Portuguese water dog has been trained to smell mom's food and give the signal if there are any traces of gluten, a protein found in wheat, barley, and rye. According to the Cleveland Clinic, when you ingest gluten with celiac disease, your immune system starts attacking the gluten, damaging your small intestine. So when Kendra goes out to eat, for example, Suki will boop her if the food is safe, and if it's not, Suki will alert Kendra with a little paw action. Back in 2017, when Kendra was first diagnosed in her late 40s, she says even a breadcrumb could suddenly cause internal damage and leave her sick for weeks.
Good sit.
So in the 2020 lockdown, Kendra decided to use that time to adopt and train a 10-week-old doggy detective. For 2 years, they took online courses together with a special trainer, and within the first year, Suki could already help with a perhaps surprising gluten container, medicine. 5 years later, not only is Suki helping Kendra eat safely all over the country, but she's also become pretty famous now. This video from earlier this month has more than 10 million views, with one commenter writing, "Not only would I trust Suki with my food, I trust her to be my power of attorney."
It took a lot of work to get here, but she is a wonderful girl.
And the University of Brandon's Faculty of Education is partnering with a PhD student from Taiwan to find a better way to teach the nature of science to Manitoba students. Manitoba's new science curriculum is focusing on the nature of science and teaching students about how the environment and science are closely connected no matter where you live in the world. Joining us now is University of Brandon Associate Professor of Science Education, Ellen Watson, and visiting scholar and PhD student, Wei-Ting Lee. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. Now, first of all, Ellen, let's talk about the new science curriculum and what it looks like.
Yeah, so the new science curriculum is very different yet similar to the current science curriculum. It's been about 20 years since we've had an update, so it's very exciting to get a new document. And something that I'm particularly excited about is the nature of science, or what science is front and center in this document. So we're moving away from that checklist, let's learn all of these science facts, into let's talk about these big ideas. What is science really about?
And why is it important to focus on what science really is about?
Well, we want our students in Manitoba to be able to think using science. We want them to be able to make decisions using science. And we want them to be able to know more than just the facts, but be actually able to use that information in their everyday lives, whether they go on to be scientists or even if they don't. We use science in a lot of decisions when we're thinking about, where do we want our food to come from? When we're thinking about our agriculture industry, there's lots of science embedded in that, and it's really important that Manitobans know it.
So cool. Now, Wei-Ting, you're from Taiwan. How do you use the nature of science in your lessons back home? And why is it, and how is it relevant here in Manitoba?
Okay, in Taiwan, we have a new curriculum called Practice and Inquiry. And this courses, we wanted to let our students, they can think like the scientists in their daily life. Our students, they need to make some experiments or to do something in their life, but we wanted they can to think like the scientists, how to find the answers, to try to make some error and to modify their decisions in their life.
That is so cool. Now, Ellen, how is this partnership with Wei-Ting and Taiwan relevant in teaching that curriculum here in Manitoba?
Yeah, so we can learn a lot from each other. Something we're doing with our current research is we've already looked at the two different curriculum documents, and now we're starting to talk to teachers. What's it like in Taiwan? What's it like here? What are the differences? What's similar? And hopefully we can learn from each other who's doing things well and where are some areas we might focus on and improve, and then take that information to Manitoba science teachers.
And so what message do you have for educators in the province right now?
We're excited about the new science curriculum, and it's going to be focused more on, what science is and what we can do with it in everyday lives. And it's going to be amazing for all of our students.
And students as well. Any message for the students that will learn from this new curriculum?
Science is going to look pretty similar to you, but you're going to be asking some really big questions. And that's exciting. That's the interesting stuff in science, at least for me.
Yeah, what about you, Wei-Ting?
Okay, I think nature of science is, in Taiwan, we have a new curriculum guidelines in 2019, and we have put the nature of science into this. But I think it's most focused on the science identity, and I think the most important I wanted to to raise their minds is, the science is not only the science identity. We wanted they have more like the procedures knowledge or the academic knowledge in their daily life, and they can use this knowledge in their future, and they might be the lifelong learners.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Well, thank you to both of you for sharing this with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
All right, out on the rooftop now, the sun is shining, Terry.
Yes, it's looking good. It's feeling good. I even ditched my sweater, probably about time. Yeah, it's a beautiful start to your morning. Still, I would say that it's a little, obviously it's a little bit cooler now than it will be later on today, but cool enough. We've been talking all morning about, pets, just because Ainsley's down at the Humane Society, and why not get your dog out for a stroll early, or get yourself out for a stroll early, knowing that it's going to get hot today, and you might just want a little nap at the peak of those temperatures into the afternoon. 17 degrees is where we're sitting right now with south winds 11 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising, humidity sitting at 83%. The sky clearing out nicely, plenty of blue sky above, some sunshine to enjoy, some warmer temperatures that'll come with it, and eventually some hotter temperatures that will come with it all across southern Manitoba. Mercury will be soaring up into the high 20s today. Normals for this time of year would be about 23 degrees, so well beyond that today. Northern Manitoba won't be anywhere near as hot. Instead, high teens and low 20s. There is that chance of precipitation still falling in areas through the southeast and into northwestern Ontario, but also northeastern Manitoba. And then again, later on into the afternoon, the possibility of some showers or maybe thunderstorms developing. Beautiful shot of the rainbow over the Black Sturgeon Lake area. Thanks to Jill for the photo, and keep them coming, please, to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
CTV Morning Live Weather brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
On Tuesday, Travis Kelce's football team, the Kansas City Chiefs, posted on social media, "Today is a fairy tale." And for Taylor Swift, who has said Travis Kelce is the man she has been writing about all her life. Now the couple is looking to a happily ever after. CTV's Andrea Case on their love story.
Travis Kelce proposed and Taylor Swift said yes. And fans in Toronto couldn't be happier.
Yes! Oh, they're engaged.
They're engaged.
Wait, actually? Oh my gosh.
Have a good life with her husband.
Some good advice. What advice would you give him with her?
Be nice.
One of the world's most famous couples announced their engagement on Instagram with the caption, "Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married." The ring, an old Mine brilliant cut diamond from Kindred Lubeck. As for the dress she wore, by Ralph Lauren, already sold out. It was a three-time Super Bowl winner, Travis Kelce, who pursued Swift more than 2 years ago.
So I was a little butthurt I didn't get to hand her one of the bracelets I made for her, one with my number on it.
Eventually they met, Swift admitting she didn't know much about football.
I didn't know what a first down was.
I am forever thankful for you diving into the football world.
And she certainly did, creating a stir just entering the football stadium, and NFL cameras constantly covering her every move in the Kelce family private box.
The latest status is I got to see her last week. That's the latest status right there.
And the second question, are you in love?
I'm going to keep my personal relationship personal.
She attended his games and he followed her on the Eras Tour, attending 14 concerts, even making an appearance in one of her London shows.
What I saw on that tour last year was pretty remarkable. It was something I could admire watching and take a lot of notes from.
Even President Donald Trump, when asked, had something to say on the news of the engagement.
Well, I wish him a lot of luck. I think he's a great player. I think he's a great guy, and I think that she's a terrific person, so I wish them a lot of luck.
He hasn't always been so gracious about the pop star, posting, "I hate Taylor Swift," after she endorsed Kamala Harris for president.
CTV Morning Live is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
September is around the corner, and that means back to school, work, and in some cases back to daycare. For the littles in your life, to your biggest kids, Rachel Node, editor of In Between Magazine, a digital magazine geared to parents of teens, has suggestions that will get them ready to embrace the year ahead with style and with confidence. Let's start with the littlest members of the house, Rachel. Now, they might not be ready to head to school yet, but they might be going to daycare. So what do you have for them?
Yeah, when we think about getting, back into our fall routines, we're thinking about back to school and back to work. But for the littlest ones in our lives, it could mean, back to daycare or preschools for them to have their own adventures to grow and learn. When you're thinking about what you need to pack them for the day, you're going to want to pack these Huggies Little Movers 360 diaper pants. They are designed to move with baby. They slide on so easily. They have an expandable 360-degree waist. And when it comes time to change baby, the sides just tear away. So it protects baby against leak no matter how they move, and you can grab these at most major retailers.
That sounds great. How about the older kids? What do you have for those heading off to university?
When it comes time for back to school, one of my favorite times was like going back to school shopping. That was my favorite part about back to school, because it's like something about starting the fresh year with new fashions just makes you confident and ready to take on the year. But that starts with what you're wearing underneath. La Vie en Rose has launched a bra that does it all. And I love it because it is designed to shape every day with confidence, because it gives you that all day support, but also some lifted comfort as well. It's called the Lightly Lined Contour Bra, and it just gives you a smooth shape with the full coverage we want, and the foam cups inside help hold that shape and really contour your silhouette. But I have to say, what La Vie en Rose does well is they take an everyday staple and just make it romantic and elegant. I'm loving the picot detailing and the lace trim. It's just beautiful, and it comes in all different colors and sizes, and you just shop it at your local La Vie en Rose.
That sounds great. Now, in a broader sense, back to school shopping, what are some of the things that we should be looking for elsewhere?
If you have a student who's maybe moving to university, a dorm room or a small apartment, you're going to look for items that can be multifunctional. Whether you're looking for bathroom accessories or maybe smart storage solutions for small spaces, HomeSense really makes back to campus prep easy with stylish and affordable finds. I found this pink cart, which I thought was so cute just to begin with, but it's sleek. It has wheels, so you can wheel it from room to room. But I thought this was great for a bathroom because you could tuck it, by a toilet, stock it with all your beauty essentials, your shower essentials, your bathroom essentials, even your cleaning products. Everything you see on this cart is from HomeSense as well. But again, it's multifunctional. You could wheel this into your kitchen, use it for your spice rack and all your other essentials. So really, have fun at HomeSense. I know I do. I'm there for hours. They have something for everybody.
Yeah, it's hard not to have fun when you're at HomeSense. Rachel, these are all such fantastic ideas. I can't believe it's almost school time, but thank you so much for all your great tips as always.
Thank you.
Almost, but not quite. We've got a last blast of summertime heat to make sure that we enjoy this last week before we're sending kids back on the other side of the weekend. It's 17 degrees right now with south winds 11 clicks. The pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 83%. The sun is coming up from behind those clouds. We saw them heavier this morning. That was after some precipitation rolled through, but you can see even here on the satellite image now how things are clearing out as that system continues to push off to the east. Northwestern Ontario is coming for you. We still have the possibility, though, of some showers or thunderstorms developing later on today. With these hot temperatures, no surprise, they are 28 degrees. That'll put us well above seasonal. 23, just for a reference point, that's normal for this time of year. Bit of a breeze increasing into the afternoon, out of the north at times gusting to 40 kilometers per hour, but then tapering off overnight, and clear conditions. So even if we do see some activity later on this afternoon, things will clear out overnight as we drop down to 12 degrees, and then tomorrow plenty of sunshine. Not quite as hot as today, but still above normal. 26 expected with south winds, 20 clicks. Gets even hotter after that. So on Friday, brace yourself for 30 degrees and then remaining in those high 20s all throughout the long weekend. Now, by Monday, holiday Monday, the chance of some precipitation that could linger overnight and into Tuesday when the temperatures drop off. And I've been saying it does look to be a little bit cooler on the other side for that first week of September. So if you're loving the heat, make the most of it. It's here to stay through the weekend.
Thank you, Terry. A Manitoba mother is asking for help solving the homicide of her son 2 years ago. 25-year-old Lyndon McIver went missing after a night out with friends on August 26, 2023 on Lake Manitoba First Nation. His body was found in a wooded area in the community 5 days later. His death has been deemed a homicide and the investigation remains ongoing. Lyndon's mother tells CTV News it's been a long 2 years waiting for answers.
Some days I don't sleep at night. I don't know, I pray every day that somebody says something. Because today is 2 years and I still don't know what happened to him.
McIver is being remembered as a helpful man who loved life and especially loved his 2 young sons. Anyone with information on the investigation is asked to call RCMP. 2 new measles exposure sites in Manitoba to tell you about now, both in the Pembina Valley. The first was at C.W. Weeb Medical Center in Winkler on August 21st from 8:45 to 11:30 a.m. The other is at Focal Point Comprehensive Vision Care in Morden, also on August 21st from 4 to 10 p.m. If you were at either place during those times, the province advises you to monitor for symptoms until September 21st and check your immunization records. Measles symptoms normally appear within 7 to 21 days after exposure and may include fever, runny nose, drowsiness, red eyes, and small white spots inside the mouth. There have been 177 confirmed cases and 11 probable cases of measles in Manitoba this year. Canada's Air Force and the U.S. Coast Guard pulled off a double extraction from a cruise ship sailing off Vancouver Island.
Having the Royal Canadians with us out there made it operate way smoother than if we hadn't had them.
The ship was sailing south of Tofino on Sunday when it reported 2 separate medical emergencies, both requiring an urgent extraction. The U.S. Coast Guard first lifted a 99-year-old passenger from the deck. A Canadian helicopter then transported a 52-year-old woman who suffered a cardiac arrest. Both patients were flown to hospital in critical condition. The RCAF and U.S. Coast Guard say cooperation was critical in pulling off the mission. Now to what appears to be a friendly and rather surprising visit for some boaters in Howe Sound. While a group of friends and family gathered for a yearly reunion, they were joined by a family of orcas. And of course, it was all caught on camera. Here's CTV's Sinjin Alexander.
Well in the distance at first, off the west coast of Gambier Island, something about a small flotilla of humans caught the attention of this inquisitive group.
They're coming right for you guys. Like, they are there.
Maybe pull us in on TV.
Yeah. And they are there. Oh my gosh!
As the pod made its way closer and closer, this group of friends and family enjoying a yearly reunion decided they'd better get closer and closer.
We were all in the water, so we're getting out of the water.
Joshua Lapine, like so many others, pulled out his phone, and what he captured was remarkable.
What? He's saying hi. Look at that.
As soon as they got really close, one of the lead whales started to flap its side fin as it went right by us. I don't know why. I'm actually curious as to why.
There are many theories why whales slap their flippers. It can be communicating, hunting, scaring prey, or playing. Remember, the orcas approach the humans. And did you notice there are some youngsters too?
Especially the baby one was really kind of hopping around, and it was almost like it was riding the back of a larger one.
Now they're just showing off.
This chance encounter or visit lasted about 10 minutes. A breathtaking show, even for those who have seen their fair share of wildlife.
You're seeing humpback whales, you're seeing orca whales, you're seeing sea life come back that you've never seen before, especially in the last, I'd say, 6-7 years. I've spent a lot of time in these waters and I've seen orcas before, but I've never seen behavior like that.
Sinjin Alexander, CTV News, Horseshoe Bay.
Here's a look at what's happening in traffic along Portage at Polo Park. It looks like things are quite light here, moving well as well. And here, let's take a look now at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.38. The provincial average is higher at $1.40. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.44. The lowest price in the city is $1.34. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
Price at the Pump brought to you by KidneyCard.ca. Get a free tow and a tax receipt for value of your car.
With all the Swifties excited about the big engagement yesterday, we wanted to know for a question of the day, what celebrity wedding would you most want to be invited to? Shirley says Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce will have a fabulously fun wedding. Indeed. Stan tells us he'd have loved attending the wedding of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. He says too bad it didn't end well. And Marlene says she'd like to go to J-Lo's wedding, or if Brad Pitt gets married again. Just a quick reminder, our question of the day has moved from Twitter, so now we want you to text your answer along with your name to 10400. Thank you so much for your responses today. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's with Animal Services, and another dog. Who's this?
Well, if you're not engaged, Rochelle, you can go on a date with a dog, a doggy date. It's the best possible scenario, because look how sweet this dog is going to pay for everything. It's not going to let you down. Zoe joins us once again. What's a doggy date?
A doggy date is a great program. So on a doggy date, you can take a dog out for an afternoon. You can take them for an overnight. We also utilize doggy dates as adoption trials. So if you decide that you've fallen in love with a dog here, you can take that dog home without the big commitment that adoption is right off the hop. Everything stays kind of in our name until you're ready to take the dog permanently. And then you come back, you let us know, and the adoption trial is over, and that dog is yours then.
And the thing is, too, not everybody should be adopting a dog, right? If you don't want a dog, if you can't handle a dog, that's not a good idea, because you don't want them to end up back here as well. You want them to go to good homes. It's not a case-by-case, it's on a case-by-case basis though. So when I say that, what are the different, archetypes of a family per dog?
Right, of course. So, I mean, as many dogs as we have in here, we want to make sure people are ready for a dog, and that also means picking the right dog for you. So we consider our very talented kennel staff here dog matchmakers. They're very good at matching the right dog to the right home. So energy levels are to be taken into consideration for the dog, but we also want people considering whether they're ready for a dog, whether they have the financial capacity to pay for ongoing vet care, whether they're able to dedicate the time. We go to work every day and our dog stays home, right? So when we get home, we have to ensure that we are that dog's whole world and giving them what they need for their lives.
And some dogs, like people, aren't as social. So who made that before?
Right, so we have single people who just want a dog as their own companion and don't necessarily have tons of people over. We have dogs for those people. We have dogs for the people who have big families and have people over all the time, their grandkids over. This dog in particular, Ren here, is great with kids. She's met lots of kids here through the Doggy Date program, and she's loved every single one of them that she's met. So we really do have dogs for everybody.
And as somebody who's taken the Doggy Dates program too, there was one, I thought, you know what, not for me, because it was really giving me a run for my money, but I'm like, hey, a single guy, a single big strong guy who wants a dog, maybe we can attract the ladies, who knows? Come on into Animal Services for the Doggy Dates program.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go to the rooftop now. It is going to be a gorgeous day today.
Yeah, it is beautiful starting out already. Plenty of sunshine, blue sky above, just a couple clouds here or there, but those will be clearing as the day goes on. Temperatures will be soaring as the day goes on, so if you don't like the heat, make the most of this morning. It's so pleasant out here right now. The winds are light out of the south, just 11 clicks. Temperature sitting at 17 degrees. Pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 83%. And yeah, sunglasses, you'll need them today. And just make sure you know that it will get hot. So like I said, maximize these morning hours and maybe plan a little siesta into the afternoon. Well above seasonal temperatures are expected all across southern Manitoba. It won't get anywhere near as hot throughout northern Manitoba. Probably low to mid 20s. And the possibility is still there of some precipitation. We're certainly still seeing it in some areas off through southeastern Manitoba and into northwestern Ontario is where that system of showers is headed. But even later on today, that chance of showers or even thunderstorms to develop with these temperatures that are going to be soaring into the high 20s. 23 degrees, that's normal for this time of year. So we will be well above that. And not just for today. Tomorrow, a little bit cooler at 26, but still above normal, and then kind of pushing up into that 30-degree range. So Friday, and then all throughout the long weekend, temperatures into those high 20s. This will be like the last blast of summertime. I'm not saying there won't be more heat, but on the other side of the weekend, things look to be cooling down significantly. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with more CTV Morning Live.
CTV Morning Live weather brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Same-day oil and tire changes.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Back to school time is here, and many parents and their kids are getting ready to get back to regular routines. That could mean going to bed and waking up early, making lunches again, and even making sure your child has a fresh haircut or style. But many parents, especially some dads, may struggle with the hairstyling routine in the morning. A local hair salon is offering classes to help. And joining us now from First Impressions Hair Team is Oksana Llewellyn, stylist Grace Brand, and our beautiful model Dahlia here. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, back to school is just around the corner. And what are the trends right now with hair when it comes to the return to the classroom?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are just doing, they're just starting to listen to what their kids would like. Haircuts that they're going to be excited to style, finding inspiration online for their haircuts, and not necessarily the parent always choosing what the haircut is going to be.
Okay, it doesn't have to be complicated either, right? It could be simple. You could use some tools. What's your best piece of advice for mom or dad?
Yeah, my best piece of advice would be to maybe get your kid like a little kit, maybe something simple, just hairbrush, a few clips, some elastics, maybe a spray bottle. Definitely a detangler will be a big help.
Okay, and so we are doing a simple style today. What are we doing?
We are doing a little half up with a clip. The clips are a super big trend right now with teenagers, high school students, a lot of that.
Okay.
So we're doing a cute little ponytail to start, just to keep it in there, especially if they have gym class or anything like that.
Yeah.
So the ponytail is going to keep it nice and secure. Once that ponytail is in, then you can go in with a cute little clip, any size.
Because these are all the rage right now, right?
They are all over everywhere. So you can go in with a ponytail, and then all you have to do with this one is clip that in, twist it, clip it in, and then once you kind of pop this over top, that hides your ponytail, but you get a nice, cute
Again,
look.
So nice and easy. Okay, so that's one option.
Absolutely.
What other option do you have for us here?
So we also have a cute little braid for any dads or moms that have to get their younger kids ready for school.
Yeah.
So same type of thing. You can still do a nice
in there.
Yeah, you can do a nice half up still. And this is great to just keep the hair out of their eyes, especially when you're looking down at your desk. It keeps it tied back.
Yeah.
So you can go in with a cute half up. Braid the ponytail that you have there.
And most people, including dads, would know how to braid, would you say?
I would say we had a really good class yesterday, and all of the dads did amazing with the braiding. I was honestly shocked at how quick they caught on to it. So it was fairly easy once they had a little direction, but definitely easy to learn.
Okay, so then you just put an elastic at the end, and do you loosen that braid? Because I've seen a lot of videos out there where they sort of they pull it slightly to give it more character.
You definitely can, especially when they have long hair like Dahlia here.
Yeah.
You can definitely tie that off at the end. You want to make sure you leave a little bit on the very end so that you have room for that elastic to be pulled down to loosen up the braid a little bit.
So then you just loosen it up like that so it doesn't look so stiff, right?
Exactly, and that way too it moves like normal hair.
It looks really great. Dahlia, how do you feel? Good? She's not mic'd up. So let's talk about the daddy-daughter classes that you offered. You had a class last night.
Yes.
It was sold out. Tell me a little bit about why you felt there was a need to offer such a program.
Yeah, so honestly, it was because it was my dad's idea. He was the one always getting us off to school in the morning. My mom would already be at work. And he said that if there was something like this, he would be the first one signed up because we were sent off looking, could be better. So definitely that was kind of the inspiration behind it. But yeah, we had a sold out class and a full wait list for our next classes. And the daughters loved it. The dads had a great time. Honestly, they were pretty good at it. They loved it. So yeah, everyone had a great night.
What do you think is the most daunting task about preparing your kids' hair in the morning? You're in a hurry. Everybody's wanting to get out the door, right? Do you need to have a plan in place ahead of time?
I would say that it's usually the detangling. So we did show a nice tip yesterday that actually blew away the dads. So basically, when you have your hairbrush, you're going to want the bristles to be lined up. So when you are detangling, in this brush's case, you would want to hold it vertically so that if you're going like this, you're kind of going against the grain of the bristles, and it will cause more pulling for the child. So yeah, the dads loved that tip, so that was great. But yeah, just detangling. I say make it fun. Don't make it a oh, it's time to brush your hair. Let's do your hair. What do we want today? Do we want a ponytail, a braid? Give them some different options. Make them excited about getting ready in the morning.
And then it's not such a battle when you are trying to do their hair before they head off to school. So this class was hugely popular. You had how many dads in there?
We did 10 dads and 12 kids.
Wow. Okay, so obviously it's working.
Yeah.
School is just around the corner, so it's too late for some dads, but they can still get on board. You will be offering this again, right?
Yeah, so we have a wait list, a call list, so we will be in contact with people once we know the date of our next class, and yeah, so.
There's about a week left before school. Is it too late to book your appointment for a haircut or a hairstyle before then, or are you all booked up already?
No, we definitely still have some spots available. Yeah, just give us a call and we can definitely help book you guys in.
Okay, let's take a look again at this hairstyle here on Dahlia. Can you just turn your head a little bit? Oh, so you changed it. You twisted the braid up.
Yep, so I did a little braid, and then all we've done here is taken the braid. This is just something fun you can add to it if your kids are into the clips, which usually the kids are. So all you can do is wrap that up and around, kind of tuck that ponytail in. You can hide it, and then take any sort of clip. You can do a big clip, a small clip, and just clip that in.
Look at that. You just showed us 3 different styles that we could do, and it took you a whole, what, 2 seconds. 30 seconds? Yeah, exactly. Thank you to all of you for sharing this. Again, if you want more details on the daddy classes, you will be offering more soon. What do people need to do to get on the waiting list?
They can give us a call. It's 204-255-3599.
Okay.
And we can add you to the list.
And of course, we do have a link on our website as well. Thank you so much to all of you. Good luck back at school next week.
Yeah, back to school right on the other side of the weekend. 17 degrees right now, south winds 17 clicks. The pressure rising, the humidity at 83%. I remember getting my hair done as a kid for my Ukrainian dance classes, and they would braid my hair so tight, I'd get like a full facelift going on. And then I was thinking, where's that person? Mom, I need you to come braid my hair before the show so I can get that facelift back again. You need that at 47 more than you needed it at 7. Anyway, here's a look right now at the satellite image. Some showers that started up in the overnight hours. There were some thunderstorms, in fact, about 3 a.m. Most of that activity is now pushed off to the east. We'll see some clearing, and we're going to get some heat. Again, similar to yesterday, those temperatures soared. Well, they will again today. And as they do, the possibility is there again of some showers or thunderstorms developing into the afternoon. 28 degrees, that'll put us well above seasonal. 23 is in fact normal for this time of year. Tomorrow will be the coolest day of the week, and even that remains above seasonal before we spike again. By the end of the week, it's going to be hot. 30 degrees from there all throughout the long weekend, remaining well above seasonal. Chance of showers to come our way holiday Monday that could continue overnight and into Tuesday. You'll notice those temperatures dropping off on the other side of the weekend, looking a little cooler for next week. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with more CTV Morning Live.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center.
Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
Terry, we know that broadcasting live on location can be hard, but this girl makes it look so easy.
Reporting live at the Capitol. My name is Sharina Verget, and Joe Khalil is with me, and outside on the deck, I saw...
She's a natural. She goes on to report about the bugs in her backyard with conviction and confidence. We'll have to keep an eye on her and her career in journalism.
A little wink to the camera, too. I like it. That's charisma, kid.
Now to someone who tried something new and failed.
Oh, it's so cute.
Attempted to crochet this bee from the kit, but as you can see, it really doesn't look like a bee. It looks more like a striped banana. The laughter might sting a bit, but at first you don't succeed. Try again.
That face is good.
It's a little sad. And finally, loud cars are annoying to everyone but the driver.
Guy's so cool.
Yeah, that's how the drivers would like people to react when they noisily pass by. Yeah, not much fun. Have a good day.